28th season. Sports bites every hour of good news breaks. Follow us at sportsanimalug.com. I'm Justin Grossweiner.
You just listening to All Day Sports Unfiltered with John Gonzalo. For more local sports, stick around for a few moments and listen to The Drive with me, Danny Apple, along with my best friends, Justin Grossweiner and Steve Mims, on the Sports Animal Audio Network. KORE Springfield, Eugene. I'm Danny Apple. You can listen to me on The Drive weekdays from 3 to 6 on the Sports Animal Eugene.
10, 9,
Yes!
7,
This
6,
is totally
5,
It's
4,
time.
3,
Okay, it's happening.
1.
Are you ready?
Hooray!
Are you ready? I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
You're listening to Oregon's premier afternoon sports show. This is The Drive.
Welcome, friends, into our little playground we call The Drive. 3 hours that we hope you'll stick around and set your water down for a bit. Put your troubles aside and enjoy what we offer for you. A buffet of sports talk and other things. We don't just talk sports here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. Live in Klamath Falls. Hello there, my friends at the Basin. AM 960 Sports. Roseburg, we got you covered, baby, on the store. Out there on the coast, catching some crab and some flounder. Fox Sports Newport, KNCU, and, of course, in the Rogue Valley. Like me some Bartlett pears. Ooh, yeah. The Ace Sports Radio. I'm Danny. People can call me Doc. You're my friends. You can call me Doc. Let's go over to my right. With a smirk on his face and a song in his heart, it's Steve Mims. He's known as Goose. Yo.
Just playing little drums to the AC/DC today. Good go.
And our third amigo. You know him, you love him. He's number 10 in your program, number 1 in your hearts. Justin Alexander Grossweiner, the old Jack Core, Baby J. What a boy.
What up? I am ready. I think I'm here. My mind is my body is certainly here. My mind, I will try to be here as much as possible.
All right, so the energy needs to come up. Woohoo! Okay.
For me?
Now you can take it
Good?
down a little. Now you can take it down a little bit. No, normally Goose is the one we need to poke with a stick. But I think he looks like he's freshly showered. Love the hair. The hair is looking great. You can see us on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Wave to the kids. Justin and I do that. Oh, the pearly whites from Goose. You can follow us on the social Sports Animal EUG as well. SportsAnimalEUG.com is our website. You can go there, and there's lots of stuff there. We got a shop, Sports Animal Shop now. You can go order T-shirts, sweatshirts. We got hoodies on there. We got jackets for the fall, which is coming up, football season, anticipating football season, and polos. So you got a couple of different kinds of polos. We got Nike wear on there for the polos. We also have we have flip-flops. Guys, they're not Sports Animal flip-flops. I couldn't get that one executed yet, but there's flip-flops.
If you can ship them to Des Moines, my son will take them.
Go to the shop. So you go to our website, sportsanimalEUG.com, and you go to the shop portion, and you can order directly. You don't go through us on it. It's our good friends at BSN set the shop up for us. It's up for a few months, and then the reason it's only up for a few months is we're going to be changing out some of the gear. We're constantly evolving it. So some of the stuff you see there right now is not going to be there in a few months. So order up now. The holidays are coming up. Before you know it, we'll start talking about Santa Claus being here. You can also give us a call. The phone line's working today, folks. Brad, if you're out there, Oregon Man Clinics hotline is ready for you at 541-844-3484. Toll free. We'll pay for the call everywhere else outside the Eugene area, 877-844-3484. Light it up. If anything you know about this program, you know this. We love to talk to the listeners. So some contests coming up. We'll start those next week. We'll have some listener involvement contests next week. So, boys, how was your day? I'm looking over at Baby J right now because I know how his day has been. I yelled at him a little bit this morning. We haven't kissed and made up yet, but that'll happen. We'll have we'll hug it out. We'll have the great conciliatory hug. There might be a beverage or two. I'm waiting for, and Justin, you're not going to get this reference because you don't watch a lot of the. You ever watch Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck?
No.
No. Okay. Have you, Goose?
I have seen Mr.
Okay.
Baseball. He
So
plays in
there's
Japan, right?
Yes. Tom Selleck plays a washed-up player who revitalizes his career in Japan. And there is a tradition in Japan where if you bring over a bottle of booze to your manager, you can tell him off.
This is a real tradition.
This apparently is a tradition. They took because it's a very hierarchical deal in Japanese baseball, especially. You do not yell at your teammates. You're respectful. You don't cuss out your manager or anything like that. But if you go over to their house with a bottle of booze, you set it down. You can, until the booze is gone, you can say whatever you want. So I kind of like that tradition, especially the way I've treated people sometimes the last couple of weeks. Maybe I can get a little something out of it. So no, you got a Baby just got a lot on his plate. He's got high school football coming up. We're really busy around here at the Sports Animal Audio Network, but everybody is. I mean, Klamath Falls, you got a couple of great schools down there. We're going to go over the top 10, according to the OSA, the preseason poll for the 6A, 5A, 4A, and 3A. 2A and 1A are going to be coming out. Baby, did you get yours? I made you a copy.
I did. Thank you.
So we'll go over those because there's a lot of local schools in our listening area that are involved in this. So we'll talk about that in, I believe it's hour number 2.
We're going to talk about it right before we talk to Jared Denny. Feels like it makes sense.
Oh, right at the end of hour number 2. That makes sense then. All right. So what are you finally now settled in from your world travels?
Yeah, no,
Goose?
I'm good. The kids having a great time, so that seems
Oh,
good.
you're texting with the kid? Is that
No,
why you're
I get
happy
texts
today?
I get texts every day, but it's just good, cool. Yeah, and that's all I need. I just don't want to. And I told him, hey, if things aren't going well, I also want those. But
Yeah.
seems like everything's good, so that's good.
So do you have the tracker on the phone, by the
I
way?
don't. My wife does. I do.
Okay,
not. And I don't know why
one
you
of
would.
you
And
did.
I don't know why.
Is this a common thing now?
I don't know why you
Oh.
would have it. He's in Iowa on a small campus. I have no idea. But sometimes she's like, well, now he's back in the dorm. I'm like, what does it matter? I don't
you
care
not
where
have-
he's at. He's not like driving around town and like hanging out downtown or in like.
Well, you never know. There could
Or
be a drinking party, I've heard.
He's
I will
not.
tell you what, he is not on the most likely candidates to be involved in a drinking party. And I know every parent probably says that. I'm telling you, my kid is not on the list of most likely to be part of that. But no, I laugh. She's like, oh, he's back in the dorm. I'm like, cool. We don't know anything about this thing. And even if he was somewhere else, nothing we can do about it now. So I get it if they're home and you're like the kid's out driving or something. I've never had I've never had anybody on a track. I don't care to know where people are. I just
Does
want
your
people to be out there.
no, here's the big question. Does your wife have you on the tracker?
No, and nobody's ever going to have me on it. I'm never going to have anybody, and nobody's ever going to have me. That's not an invention of this country that I feel like has been necessary to suddenly have tracking. But I get it for people who do want to know that, but I don't. I've never had any of my kids or my wife on a tracking, and as far as I know, nobody's had me.
Okay, Justin, I know you need to chime in here.
I've never been tracked before. My mom never felt the need to track me.
Yeah.
She always treated me like an adult, somebody that,
Absolutely.
whenever I basically would
Absolutely.
mess things up, she would let me fix my own problems.
Correct.
And so she always trusted me, which I always appreciated. And I think I turned out all right. So
Was there tracking when you were a kid, though? I mean, it wasn't. That's
No,
modern than
that's
right?
a newer thing. That whole
but by the time I was your son's age, I think there probably was.
Was there? Okay.
I don't know. That was about, let's see.
Listen, with the advent of more
10
cell
years ago.
phones, that's okay. So I'm asking my wife if maybe I can get off the tracking on the telephone because I am on it. I said, just insert the chip. I'll get chipped. That way, if I ever get lost, somebody can scan me and take me back home.
Is there human shipping?
Oh, believe me, yeah, there probably is going to be.
I'm sure there is somewhere.
Again, not part of this. This is not part of me. I'm not getting chipped. I'm not getting tracked. I don't need to track anyone. I don't need to chip anyone. I trust the people in my life to make good decisions.
Okay, well, I trust you as well, Goose. And let's take our first
Hey,
break.
Danny, if you ask me to be on your
I'm not gonna.
find a friend, it's not happening. So don't even ask.
I'm not asking you, but I could phone a friend, right? I'm not going to ask to find a friend. I think the chipping idea is probably now I've given my wife something even more to think about. But yeah, it's the whole safety thing. I
get it.
I get it too.
I would never do it.
I don't
Okay.
get it. I don't even get it.
I do not object to it. I need to go home tonight. Okay. When we come back, the great Zachary C. Neal from Ducks Wire and a lot of other things. We'll go over a little Ducks news when we continue here on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
$10:50 a.m. and 102.9 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinics step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since '48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
Summer, the sun, the sand. How could things be any better? Actually, you know what sounds kind of good? Chicken bones. Yeah, that would make things better. All you could eat wings for $27.95 and dollar beers from Cold Fire Cold Store. That would really make things better. Ooh, and the sauces. The sauces are to die for. In fact, now I'm kind of hungry. Oh, man. Now I need to go to Chicken Bones.
Make no bones about it. Chicken Bones has the best wings in Lane County. All you can eat wings, great sauces, and awesome burgers. Open daily at 11 a.m. on Pioneer Parkway in the Safeway Center. Check us out on Facebook or call 541-726-0111. That's 541-726-0111. Chicken Bones, chicken with an attitude.
The plans you have for your property need the right equipment. Kubota has reliable tractors, utility vehicles, and mowers to help you make the most of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% financing or save up to $3,500, plus a first-year K-maintenance service on us. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Mid-Valley Tractor in Eugene. 40 years, family-owned. Find them at midvalleytractor.com.
Imagine if I told you that an earthquake was going to hit tomorrow right where you live. That it would be 6.5 in magnitude with aftershocks occurring twice 25 minutes apart. You'd no doubt talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you an earthquake will happen tomorrow. But what if it does? Shouldn't you have a plan? Visit Oregon.gov/OMD/OEM and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by the Oregon Office of Emergency Management, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
10:50 a.m., 102.9 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Our good friend Jared Denny will join us in the Party Power Hour. That's 5 o'clock hour for everybody who's taking notes at home.
It's an all former Steve Mims co-worker guest today.
The 6 degrees of separation.
Starting with the next one.
Steve Mims. Kids, if you're not familiar out there in the hinterlands, which means anything outside of Eugene is what I possibly call the hinterlands, which I really want to get there fast. Klamath Falls, Roseburg, Newport, and in Medford. We love you folks. You're on the Sports Animal Audio Network. The Drive is the program. We're here until 6 o'clock, whether you like it or not. And we'll have the most and least experienced P4 rosters. And does it matter? That'll be a nice discussion in the next hour. That'll be interesting. The phone line open for you, 844-3484, 541-844-3484. That's the Oregon Man Clinics hotline. We're live from the Bigfoot Beverages studios, and we welcome in, you can follow him on the socials. We call him Cadillac, Zachary C. Neal, and he is Ducks Wire. He is Ducks Rising. He is the Believe in Oregon podcast, and I'm not sure what else he's adding on to his repertoire, but he is here with us once again. Zach, how are you doing, bud?
I'm good. I'm definitely better than last week when I was not feeling too hot. We got over the cold. I still kind of got the congestion and don't sound 100%, but feel much better than last week.
We have lost Zach on here.
Yeah.
I will text him.
Is it not working?
Yeah. All right. I can't hear Zach.
No one can hear
Sorry,
me.
Zach.
Maybe we
Can you
should
hear me now?
No, maybe we should unmute Zach.
Can you hear me now?
Try that. Zach, can you speak now?
Can you hear me? I'm speaking.
I see him bouncing on there, Justin. So I'm not sure if there's a setting on the board that we need to fix.
I think everything looks good to me.
Okay. Well, let's you know what? Let's dial Zach up on the phone if we don't mind. We'll vamp here for a second. And then
I just sent him a text letting him know what's going on there.
okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll call him back. Not quite sure. So maybe it's on our end. Maybe it's my headphones, my head speakers, or whatever it is. So, okay. Yeah, there's Baby J running in here and looking. And
But there
let's
was a time when
okay.
Again, Zach Neal and Jared Denny were both part-timers at Register Garb when I was there. And it's very cool to see the great success both of them have had and moved on to really cool things here.
Okay. Well, maybe we can invite Zach back in because he dropped because he thought maybe we were going to call him. So I'll let you figure that out. So coming up in the next break, we're going to have Evan Stewart audio. And of course, the return of Evan Stewart. And we'll talk a little bit with Zach Neal here in a second when we get him back, folks. The Evan Stewart return, really important. All right, let's try Zach one more time. All right, we're going to add. Okay, add. All right, I'm going to smile. I'm going to look. And let's try it. Talk.
Can you hear me?
Hey. Okay.
I didn't do anything
No,
different.
you did
so
not. No,
I'm
listen.
gonna put the blame on your side.
All errors. That was definitely E sports animal. The error was clearly on the sports animal.
What position? We're definitely not playing the hot corner anytime
We're
soon.
all human.
But you know what? We made it back. And if this is the worst thing that happens to me today, thank goodness. Zach, so you had that all roll up, and I just want to say, and we'll start all over again. Zachary C. Neal, Ducks Wire, Ducks Rising. He's got his own podcast. Jonathan Stewart coming back for another year, I believe. Believe in Oregon podcast. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So how have things been since we talked last week? You good?
Much better than last week. I was not feeling too hot last week, and we're a week away from the season now, so I need to be in tip-top shape, and I'm getting there for sure.
Absolutely. We're going to hear from Evan Stewart in a little bit. I want to start in that receiver room because we've talked a lot about Dante Moore. We've talked a bit about the running backs, the question marks that are still there on one side or the other on the offensive line. Defensive line seems pretty good. Linebackers are up and coming. We've got a couple of studs there and kids that can run around and fly and hit people. Secondary, I think, is going to be pretty solid. And we discussed the receiving room. The return of Evan Stewart. Can we quantify what that'll mean to Drew Marringer's offense to have a healthy Evan Stewart back in the fold?
I think it's hard so far just because we haven't seen him healthy as the wide receiver one. When he was here, he was splitting a lot of time. They had a lot of good guys around him. He's still going to have that. I mean, obviously, DeCorey and J-Mac, like really, really good players. We talked to Coach Douglas last week, and he was saying we don't have a wide receiver one. Any of these guys can be our wide receiver one on any given day. So, but no, it's like at some point when people keep telling you something over and over, you got to start to believe them. And we've heard endlessly that Evan Stewart is just, having an incredible camp. He looks great. He's having the best camp of his career. We talked to Coy Parrish earlier today. He's like, that guy's, one of, if not the best receiver in the nation right now. Like, I truly believe that he has the best feet of any wide receiver he's ever seen. So, I don't know. We're also in week 4 of fall camp, and we've all been talking about the same storylines over and over every day. So I think he's going to be great. I can't wait to actually see him so we can stop talking about how good he's going to be and see how good he's going to be. But yeah, long answer short, I think he's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I was looking at his numbers today, Zach and I, because obviously last year he missed, and then 2 years before every one of those years has been like 40 catches for 650. You know, there hasn't been the high, but it's always been there, and 6 touchdowns. Could there be a 80 for 1,000, or do you think that with kind of the depth in that, or do you think there's if it's not him, maybe it's nobody, but is there a guy in this room that you think could be the 80 for 1,200, or is this just going to be more of a few 600, 700, and 800-yard guys?
It would surprise me. I don't really think that's Oregon's offense right now because you have so many people who can do that. You can easily have 3 or 4 players who can have, 40, 50 catches this year, 600, 700 yards. The days of, Tez Johnson having I think 86 catches was the year that he had. I don't see that happening again. If that does happen, I think you got a little bit of a problem in your depth in the receiver room. But, I always go back to when Dan Lanning told us last year that he thanked Dante Moore for helping keep players out of the transfer portal because of how well he spread the ball around, because he knows that there's mouths to feed. They've got the players. You got to get them all fed, keep them all happy. So I would be shocked to see anyone have 70 catches this year and then break the 1,000-yard mark, but I don't think that means they're going to be, I still think Evan Stewart could be a first-round wide receiver next year.
You mentioned Coy Parrish earlier in reference to what he said about, what he said about Evan Stewart. Coy Parrish has been getting those Dylan Thieneman comparisons, which I think is almost a little bit like, I'm not saying lazy, but they're really just not like a one-to-one comparison. What would you say in terms of the comparison of those two guys?
I tried to stay away from that early on just because I agree it is kind of lazy. They're two very athletic white safeties. Like, you're going to box them in together, but they play
from the Big Ten. They both came from the Big Ten.
Exactly.
Add that in too.
Corn-fed, ready to go.
I think that in the past, Coy Parrish has been much more of a center fielder safety, kind of your deep safety ball hawk back there. From the sounds of it in camp, they're moving him around a lot, and they're playing him in the slot. They're putting him up in the box, kind of in that Tampa 2-3 safety look that they did with Thieneman a lot last year. I think he's going to be more in that mold than I originally expected him to be. But that's the thing about Coy, is he's so versatile that they can do really anything they want with him. And they did the same with Dylan. They wanted to do a lot of different things with him, and he succeeded at it. So I think Coy is maybe a little bit more versatile than Dylan was. I think they'll both be fantastic players. I was reading an article on The Athletic the other day that was talking about Coy Parrish having some maybe dark horse Heisman vibes this year on defense. Like, wow, whoa, okay, that would be surprising to me. Maybe if he gets some special teams in there, but I'm truly excited to see what he can do. I think he's going to be one of the best safeties that Oregon has had in quite a while.
Live from the Bigfoot Beverages studios, this is The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network. We're live in Roseburg, Newport, Medford, and in Klamath Falls, and also on the World Wide Web. And it's not a new invention. It's YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We're live on the video stream as well. Come in, join us at Sports Animal EUG on all the socials. Zachary C. Neal, we call him Cadillac. You can follow him on the socials as well, Zachary C. Neal. And we love reading what he writes on Ducks Wire. It's great inside information. Zach, iron sharpens iron. Dan Lanning has used this as a mantra. I want to twist it a little bit because the great teams, the elite teams, are balanced on both sides of the football. So let's talk about what's been going on the last 3.5, 4 weeks. Is an elite offense going up against an elite defense week after week after week. The internal battles are there, but how important is that to have a team that's this balanced to able to push the other side to different heights? Can that be overlooked?
I don't think so. I mean, it's that's what separates the championship contenders from the people who are just kind of on the outside looking in. I mean, this Oregon team, they've said a million times this fall camp, they want the practices to be harder than the games. And I think they've got a pretty easy job of doing that, because when you're putting their players against each other, like, these are some of the best players they're going to see all season. We talked to Evan yesterday, and he joked that the defense has kind of been kicking their butt for the past few times. And you expect to see that later as you get on in fall camp, because the defense keys up on things. They're starting to read these offensive guys. They know what's coming at them. They know how to protect against it. So we talked to Chris Hampton today. I asked him about that. Like, Evan said this. Do you kind of agree with that? He's like, Evan's a little bit of a prisoner of the moment. Like, we may have gotten him yesterday. They got us a couple days before. It's been a lot of back and forth. I think you're going to see that when you've got someone like Dante Moore, who's, a Heisman favorite going in on one side. You got another Heisman candidate apparently in Coy Parrish on the other side. So I think there's a lot of really good on both sides. And in the end, these practices against each other are going to be a lot harder than some of the games that they play.
Sorry, Zach, I'm delayed right now. I'm going into Poly Market trying to find my Coy Parrish Heisman odds to see what I can get on there. I'm going to see if I can get in there at about 1,000 to 1. I like your idea. 17 interceptions and a couple punt returns for a touchdown. I think we can do this. But
don't feed into that with him, please. Don't.
I'll wait till the commercial. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Hey, last year, 4 of the top 6 teams in the preseason poll did not make the playoff, and not due to injury. Notre Dame, Texas, Clemson, Penn State. If I tell you Oregon this year does not make the playoff and it's not due to injury, what happened?
How do I answer that question?
I mean, Penn State was a loss to Oregon. Clemson was not nearly as good as we thought.
I think what you would get to is the coordinators. And I say this, I can't imagine a world where this happens, but you would say, all right, Drew Maringer maybe just didn't work out as well in offense. He tried to do too much and change too much, and it didn't quite fit. The offensive line may struggle a little bit. Again, this is all hypothetical. I don't believe any of this is going to happen. But if you're not looking at injuries, like I don't see a world where that happens. We've seen the proof is in the pudding with what Dan Lanning does and the talent on this team and how he's built this roster. I can't imagine that would be the case unless it's a real disaster with the coordinators, particularly on offense. But yeah, I don't see that happening.
Well, and kind of in tune with the fact that the Oregon roster is going to be able to practice itself and have more difficulty than some games, is it going to be one of those things with the coordinators where we're not going to really know the answer to that until they play like an Ohio State or something like that? Because on a game-to-game basis, you're going to be playing teams that you're not going to need to have an A+ effort from your offensive or defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's when when most fans are gonna feel the most comfortable and confident in these coordinator hires. It's gonna be when you see those adjustments. I mean, we've seen in years past that sometimes the halftime adjustments have not been what they needed to be, or even the game planning in some of the big games against Indiana, Ohio State, they just came out flat. If you can come out in those big games and show some fight early on, or if you can go into a halftime either trailing or in a tight game and then come and put the foot down in the third quarter and really create some separation, I think that's when the coaching shows itself the most and you see some of that adjustments and those developments. But I think that's going to show it the most, because against teams like Northwestern or Illinois or Nebraska, I don't think you're going to learn much about this coaching staff, because they, I don't want to talk down on other teams, but I think that Oregon can do pretty vanilla stuff and beat those teams.
Zach Neo, we call him Cadillac. Zach, when does the weekly stuff start with the Believe in Oregon with Jonathan?
It's been going. We've got a few. I'm actually recording with him in probably an hour or so. Yeah, we've got a few episodes out. I'm recording with Travis here on Ducks Rising.
So now it's going to be regular. Right after.
Yeah, it's regular. Yep, it's good. We're getting ready for the season.
All right, so you can follow that there, and also on Ducks Rising, and of course Ducks Wire. Zach, one last question for you: are you on the Find Me app on your phone, or are you chipped by your beautiful wife?
I am on the Find Me app on my phone. Yes.
See, I'm not alone in this. Mims is resisting hard.
I got nothing to hide, man. I got nothing to hide. You want to see where I'm at? I got nothing to hide. Steve, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Steve, what's going on where you can't be found?
Occasionally, there's a little
Walter White over
occasionally there's a little dive bar that gets in the way on the way home. I don't need anybody to see it.
Zach, see, that's right. I love the way you put that. All right, buddy. We appreciate you. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. See you then.
Zach.
All right, Zach Neal. I am in so much trouble when we go to the commercial break. So there might be one less amigo when we come back, but Evan Stewart audio coming up. DeMarcus Shepard as well in this hour as we roll on here on The Drive, the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really, but you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM, the Sports Animal.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up for another, that's a Pepper thing. First up is Brian. He likes to iron his shirt to look presentable to his can of Dr. Pepper. What a gentleman. That's a Pepper thing. And Harper, who makes her family clap every time she cracks one open. It's a respect thing. It's also a pepper thing. Next up, Jayden, who wears a blindfold while sipping because he can't handle the beauty of an ice cold Dr. Pepper can. We get it. It's gorgeous. And oh yeah, it's a pepper thing. Meanwhile, Big Mike has set up a personal wind machine so every sip comes with that slow motion hair moment. So cinematic. That might be the most pepper thing I've ever seen. And what drives all this? That one-of-a-kind, delicious, unique blend of 23 flavors. It's a pepper thing.
Welcome back to Yeah, That's a Pepper Thing, where Brad just built a miniature spotlight for his Dr. Pepper. Yeah, that's a pepper thing. Grab a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper at your local retailer today. It's a pepper thing.
It kind of sneaks up on you. You're more tired than you should be, a little less focused, a little less motivated. Maybe you've gained a little weight. It's normal. A lot of men experience it, but that doesn't mean you have to live with it. At Hale Men's Clinic, personalized testosterone therapy can help you restore your energy, your clarity, your edge. Real solutions, real results. Hale Men's Clinic. Feel good now. Curious about your levels? Walk into Hale Men's Clinic in Eugene, Bend, or Roseburg for your free testosterone test today. More info at halemensclinic.com.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know. Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
You'll be sorry.
In Jansen Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene. Video Only.
Hi, this is Drew from Dalton Carpet on West 11th in Eugene. Dalton Carpet is family owned and operated and proud to serve you for 30 years. Now more than ever, someone you know is walking on a Dalton floor. Do you have a flooring project? Get your summer off to a new start. Lane County's best selection with hundreds of rolls of carpet and thousands of feet of click-together flooring on display and in stock right now at unbeatable prices. Come see us today at Dalton Carpet, right here on West 11th in Eugene.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Eugene, Oregon, I remember you for the rest of my life. I won't forget how good you were to me. Lord, I'll be forgetting all the kindness that you show to a homesick country girl a long, long way from Tennessee. Tired and weary and I'm feeling low among strange people I didn't know. Long, long way from home, time gone. Over to Eugene, Oregon, you were mine. The love you gave was genuine. You gave me inspiration and the strength to carry on.
Well done.
Eugene,
Godspeed, Dolly.
R.I.P. Dolly Parton.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah. My wife called me with that. I was in the middle of stuff. I was hunkered today. I little outside contact. I went out, had a nice lunch with Britton from Mercedes, but I didn't do anything else. In fact, I almost ran through a light talking to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was on hands-free. Just in case anybody, but and she
Your
told me
mental hands weren't on the wheel, though.
Yeah, Dolly Parton passed away. That's just sad. Another
sad.
icon.
And that song right there, Eugene, Oregon, the story goes back. It was like the 70s. She came to play a concert. She wasn't the headliner. She was like a part of it, but she got sick and couldn't perform. So she like got up and apologized to the crowd, and then like went back to, and the crowd like cheered for her, and she went back to her trailer and wrote this song about thank you, Eugene, Oregon. I'm so sorry I couldn't perform for you. And that's that song there. So
Well done,
pretty
you
cool.
guys. Well
Yeah,
done putting
that's
that
cool.
together. I'm sure that came from you, Mims. So, yeah. So well done.
With Woody's Woody had a little text to me as well.
Nice.
So I want to give him
Yeah,
a
that's
tip on
awesome.
that,
Yeah,
too.
give some props to Viper there. So well done. And Godspeed, Dolly. That's the one thing that's magical about people and the businesses like that is that we can share, like anybody who's in, who writes or who's in movies or or music. It's everlasting. We get to enjoy it forever. So
much like sports highlights.
Much.
So very much so. Very much so.
All right, so let's get into some. We just heard Zach Neal, great interview with Zach, who's also not chipped, but he does have the Find Me on the telephone, which is great. I mean, he's got 2 young kids. They don't even have phones yet.
We're all living in a Black Mirror episode, which I don't think Steve understands.
I do. Black Mirror. There were some Black Mirror episodes that scared the what out of me.
No,
It was
absolutely.
just no.
They're too real.
So again, we're going over.
Goose, you've ever seen Black Mirror?
No. Are you kidding me? That was
Not a
such a
clue.
setup question.
Never even heard of it.
But great from Zach Neal, Duckswire, and I guess the Believe in Oregon podcast is up and going with Jonathan Stewart. I didn't know that it was going because normally I'm subscribing to it and I don't get the notifications now. So I just went back in and resubscribed. So I make sure I get the notifications. Zach Neal on Duckswire. He's a weekly guest for us here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. And The Drive, Oregon Man Clinic's hotline's open for you. Okay, the phone works, kids. I swear. 877-844-3484. In fact, I'd like you to try it out. 877-844-3484 or in Eugene, 541-844-3484. Give us a call. You want to talk about anything you want. We're going to lay it all open for you, the open phones in the Bigfoot Beverages studio. So we talked about Evan Stewart a little bit. And Evan Stewart, what did he say? Chris Hampton, the DC, said that Evan Stewart sometimes lives in the moment. Or because he said the defense was whooping up on him. Well, let's hear what Evan Stewart had to say about the defense.
A whole lot of back and forth competing for sure. Some days, I ain't gonna lie, early on, offense was winning, but lately, defense been whooping us. I ain't lying. But it's been good competition. It's been evened out. And it's always nice to have, knowing that you have a good offense and a good defense because we can play off each other. And then when you tag in special teams, it's like, yeah, got a pretty good team.
I hate this. I
What?
hate when
Really?
I hate how media is blocked out of practice. And then every time you have somebody up there like, yeah, well, we won some and they won some. And it's like every Dan Lanning scrimmage. Well, offense had some moments, but defense had some moments. It's like they're scared to death to say, like,
well, you don't have the
somebody's
belief in that?
dominating that because again, in the old days, the media could watch it and you couldn't come out and say, yeah, both did some because you'd be like, wait a minute, it looked like one. So anyway, that's just old school me. But I hate when everybody says, yeah, they were getting us, but now we're getting them, and now we're this. And again,
Well, but couldn't that be the
every
truth,
scrimmage,
though?
it could, but odds are that somebody might be getting the better of them, but nobody ever wants to, no coach wants to say, yeah, our offense is definitely going to defense because they know the headline the next day, Oregon defense in serious trouble,
Okay.
offense defeating
I have
them.
multiple questions for you then.
But again, my point is it would all be settled if you just let the media back into practice, but I know it's not happening because they would report what's really happening.
But you're not writing that headline.
I'm not.
If you would be covering that, you wouldn't write. That's bait, is what that is.
Exactly. And that's what 90% of your current Oregon media is.
Yeah,
So there you go.
unfortunately.
So Goose,
Yes.
which do you think actually is winning?
The offense or the defense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I
great
don't know.
question.
That's my question.
do you
I
think
want to
would
know.
be
That. That's what I want to know.
What do you think what would be the best case scenario? Do you
I
want
think
the offense or
would be
the
winning.
you want the
Who would
offense
I-
to win?
If I was a Duck fan, who
Yeah.
would I want to be winning?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that. I'm thinking. I'm just saying based on. I think the offense has more talent than the defense, so I'm guessing that the offense is winning most of it. If the defense was winning, but then again, if the defense is winning, then are we thrilled that the defense is good or hey, the offense is bad?
That defensive line is massive. I think
I
the
think
defensive line
might be more talented. I don't know. It's a
I
debate
think
at
up
least.
front. I think up front they are blowing people up, which is great because you're going to find 5 or 6. If you listen to Dan Lanning, you want 7 or 8. You're going to find some guys who can play offensive line, don't you think, Baby J? I mean,
and that's what we've heard from not even just Dan Lanning, is that you're not going to just need 5 guys. Even if you have 5 guys you really like, you're going to need at least have 3 more guys.
But I mean, the national guys are just they're slobbering over this defensive line for Oregon. So why wouldn't you think they would be dominating early on?
Well, exactly. And I think they just have a lot of experience there. I think that the back end is also very experienced.
The middle is where the biggest question. I don't think
But they
it's that
have
much of a
athletes,
concern.
though.
That's right.
So it feels like if you can get the linebackers into a position where they can just turn up field and go tackle
Yeah,
guys.
you got Devon Jackson who can run faster than a horse.
Then
So,
I wouldn't
I
be
mean-
surprised if they're beating the offense. Although they do have a really experienced quarterback who I'm sure is going a lot of the time, that you would like to see, especially with the idea that his whole thing should be about adjustments this year. I'm seeing something and I'm adjusting out of it, which I think he did well last year at times, but then clearly against Indiana, there were some adjustments that needed to be made on the field, not just stuff that the offensive coordinator could do. So I think I would be with you. I would like to hear that my offense is outdoing the defense.
I think I would too. And sorry, I hijacked the conversation. Going back to the Evan Stewart part. And it was part of my question.
Shocking
Part
that
of
you
my-
hijacked the
but
conversation.
The media part in me, I just get tired of that. But anyway, back to what I had asked Zach Neal about. And Zach's point was interesting that, hey, I don't see anybody getting more than 70 for. I'm
Yeah,
old school,
I
man.
see- I see
I'm
that
old
spread
school.
around.
I want my one to be 80 for 1,200.
You want a Jeremiah Smith.
Well, and
and
here's-
50. Exactly, I do. And maybe that's not. And again, I'm not saying that, but I just because I was looking back at Jeremiah or at you get Jeremiah in mind, Evan Stewart's stats today. Because I had been like, hey, he was kind of underwhelming at A&M and this, that, but he actually wasn't.
No,
And
he
it's
was
always
not.
been like 40 for 600, 40 for 700. And even the year at Oregon was 48 honorable mention. I feel like, and then last year missing, it's been like for the last 3 years, we've heard this at Oregon. It's like, and I don't need the Tez Johnson because the Tez Johnson was sort of, it was a lot
No,
of
that-
catches, but
that
it
was
wasn't a lot of
Bo.
yards.
That was Bo, though. Bo was always looking for Tess.
I get that. I'm just
No,
saying,
he was.
I want a receiver who is 80 catches for 1,411 touchdowns. And I think if the guy's good enough, he gets that. I don't think the coordinator says, yeah, you're definitely available for that, but we're just going to keep a few less to go somewhere else. So that's what I want to see. And maybe that's not the thing. Again, Zach's much closer to this coaching staff
Right,
than I
than
am.
all of us are.
But I'm saying that my hope, if I'm an Oregon fan, is that he has an 80 for 1,500 with 11 touchdowns.
And by the way, if somebody's just not going to go pull out my quote that I said Bo was always looking for Tez, Tez made a lot of those for himself. All right. So he made himself open. Bo that was his, listen, he had his favorite receiver. And
Weren't
that
they
was
related
definitely.
too? I think some TV broadcasts once talked about that. I'm not sure about that, but I heard that once on TV, I think.
I guess I like Tez more than you guys. But
No, I love Tez, but I just don't want people saying that I felt the offense was myopic and that when every time that Bo dropped back, he was only looking for Tez Johnson. That was not the
Trey
case.
Franklin was there too. He was doing pretty well. I
Okay,
would say.
sure.
He was in those. Was the Bolitnikoff Award? Is that the receiver award? I
Yes.
think?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know the awards very well. I think the number one receiver thing is interesting because what you don't want to see basically is. I understand the idea of having a lot of guys you have to account for and that there's not just one guy that you can key in on because then you can have options and that's great. That being said, I think there are times in like basketball when you need one guy that's I need a bucket right now. And it's just sometimes you need that one guy that's like, I'm going to throw this ball to you right now and you're going to catch it.
And Justin Jefferson
100%.
and Jeremiah, and that's why when Zach said that, and again, I know what he's saying, but it's the old cliche. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one.
Right.
If you have 3 number 1 receivers, you don't have one. I want
100%,
one.
I'm with you.
I want the guy that on 3rd and 8, I know he not only is it going to go to him, but he's better than the guy who's covering
Exactly.
him. He's going to catch it.
100%.
That's the Justin. You've seen in Justin Jefferson. I just remember there are games where it's like just throw it up and
Or Calvin
that dude's
Johnson
gonna-
or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. That's
Yeah,
the guy I want.
That's the guy you're going to do it.
And I don't know if
the
that's
defense
him.
knows
I'm
it,
just saying
and they give it
that's what
anyway.
I'd want my one to be.
100% agree. I don't know if Evan Stewart is that kind of guy. I mean, he's really fast. He's more of a burner. I don't know. I don't feel like they don't have like the big physical receiver. Maybe. I mean, it could be Jamari Johnson. I guess they could kind of fill that role. But these receivers are a little bit smaller. I would expect these to be kind of scheme related openings that they're gonna have available to them.
Yeah.
The Bigfoot Beverages Studios and the Oregon Man Clinics hotline open for you at 541-844-3484, 877-844-3484. This is The Drive. We're on the Sports Animal Audio Network in Klamath Falls, Roseburg, Newport, and Medford. Thanks for hanging in. Hour number 2, we're going to talk Heisman Trophy odds. And does the Big Ten, barring NFL returnees, put the conference at a disadvantage with the rest of the Power Four, especially the SEC? That's going to be an interesting conversation. And we'll discuss it next hour, and in the Party Power Hour that we're starting to call it now, hour number 3, which is the 5 o'clock hour, Jared Denny is going to kick us off, and we'll talk a lot about the high school ranks with Jared Denny, who covers everything very well for the Register Guard. This whole receiver question, we want to get to one more quote from Evan Stewart. But the guys and I agree with everything you're saying about I want that one guy. But won't that evolve? And won't that be how the defense is kind of scheming against you as well when it comes to it? Because I was expecting much bigger things out of Kenyon Sadiq last year, and he wasn't hurt.
He was a little bit.
He wasn't hurt that. Listen, he wasn't hurt to the extent that he was before.
I would have liked to see him targeted much more often.
So I was thinking more along the lines that he could have set some big numbers at the tight end. He still was incredibly effective, and he had a great year. And obviously, he turned it into a first-round pick. Good for him. And I think he's going to have a long NFL career. But I think that also can evolve. And I don't think we can target who that number one guy is going to be yet. But this offense is going to figure out who that is.
Well, I think
I think
that
will.
emerges. Again, I don't think anybody showed up at the Minnesota Vikings practice and said, "Do you think Justin Jefferson's the one?" I think Justin Jefferson walked in and said, "I'm the one." I think
but that's what I mean when it evolves,
I think Jamar Chase walked. No, I don't think it evolved. I think Jamar Chase walked in and he was the one.
Oh, so his evolution was like, I'm taking this over.
Correct.
You need to throw the ball to me.
It's going to take about 2 practices before you realize that
I'm Plaxico Burress.
Right. They just keep
Not
on doing
Burress,
things.
much better than Plaxico.
Yeah, they keep on.
I'm saying
doing
it didn't take many
Yeah.
practices, I don't think, for who the Vikings quarterback was a couple years ago to be like, yeah, I think on 3rd and long that's going to be the one. That's what I want to see it be.
Well,
and maybe it's not. Again, I'm not in the practices.
I know
with these guys, but
you've
I
made that
would
very
like there to
clear
be-
that you're not in the practices.
I would like there to be a guy that I'm like, that's the dude who's going to get it. And not only is he going to get it, the defense knows he's going to get it, and they can't stop it.
All right, so coming off the injury, coming off sitting out an entire year and watching this team, go through this regular season and get to the national semifinal and get their hearts broken again. Evan Stewart talks about how coming through this offseason and coming into fall, how his confidence is rising.
I definitely feel my confidence going up. In the spring, it was more like, they had me in the green jersey. Everybody was saying, he's in a different jersey, but now they took the green jersey off. This fall camp has been very action-packed for me, for sure. So, yeah, just taking on a bigger role and really filling in those shoes, it's been elite.
So the whole conversation on Evan Stewart is going to be how, after a year off, and that's the one, to me, that's the biggest unknown, is if I'm looking on the offensive side, I have a couple. One is how a player returns from injury. I mean, we need to think about Jordan Davison, the first time he really gets cracked, on the shoulder pads, what that's going to feel like to him. Because we've talked to Kenyon Barner and George Rice and others that have come back from injuries, and it's like, that the emotional part, the trust your body part's got to come as well, so you can be as aggressive as you were before that made you the great player before. I'm really interested to see how that happens in game speed. I'm also going to be interested to see how Jamar Johnson, he's tight end number 1 right now. Let's see how
he might be tight end number 1 in the nation.
And let's see how he reacts to that, because he was living in Kenyon Sadiq's shadow last year. He didn't have to be the go-to guy on 3rd down and 6 when you throw it in the flat and you got a linebacker crashing down on you and you've got somebody coming over the top that's going to blast you in the noggin.
I'm with you on the Evan Stewart part, but he missed all of last year. So if that had been a thing where he had been hurt mid-season and you're like, he's still coming.
You don't think that makes a difference after sitting out an entire year, though?
I don't think as much. I mean, I think if he had been hurt late in the year and then the recovery is a 14-month deal,
we'll see.
And then you're kind of coming back. I mean, there was talk he was going to come back at the end of last year.
By
do you
fall,
think
that was
I
like
think
playing possum, though? I really didn't think he was going to come back at the end of the year. They were putting him on that injury report just to decoy.
Either way, I think, and again, you still have to take that hit, and he hasn't got those to practice. But I think that the injury should be healed more than it would be. And I would worry more about that if it had been something that happened in season than preseason.
I think he looked pretty good in the spring game. He caught a big touchdown pass that he saw.
Yeah,
you could see his speed. I mean, the contact.
Yeah, the speed. That's what I was looking
again.
for as
If
well.
the hit's the point, yes, he still hasn't had somebody who wants to kill him, and that's going to happen. In 1 or 2. But again, he's taking a lot of hits in his life. I think that. I mean, he's got to be almost 20 months recovered. So I would think
a long
less
time at
of
this point.
Not that it's not a concern, but less of a concern.
I think there's going to be less rust than people think. All right, so we're going to flip things. Goose wants to talk about Heisman Trophy odds. So obviously he's done his prep, as a good reporter will do. We will hear from Jamarcus Shepard at the top of hour number 2. That's the 4 o'clock hour. Stick around. Toll free 877-844-3484 throughout the state of Oregon and locally in Eugene. 541-844-3484. The Oregon Mac Clinics hotline. Back with the last segment here in hour number 1 on The Drive.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
When you're in Rome, you visit the Colosseum. When you're in France, you visit the Eiffel Tower. And when you're in Eugene, you visit Cracktown Pizza, Eugene's best pizza and a Eugene cultural icon for over 40 years. Cracktown Pizza has 2 locations, across from the U of O campus in Eugene and on 58th and A in Springfield. Cracktown Pizza, the best pizza in town. Call 541-284-8484 or visit cracktownpizza.com.
All bets are on at the Three Rivers Casino Resort Sportsbook in Florence. Bet 24/7 at our kiosks or download the brand new Sportsbook app today and get $10 in free bets. Place wagers right from your mobile device while you relax in your room, hit the casino floor, or grab a bite. Then catch the action on Oregon's largest sports betting screen. Visit threeriverscasino.com/sportsbook to learn more. The Sportsbook at Three Rivers Casino Resort. Winning starts here.
I've seen it, I've covered it. I'm Alex Rogers, your local farmer's agent in West Eugene. When you need auto, home, life, or business insurance, Farmers can help you protect everything you've worked so hard to achieve. I really enjoy what I do, and I can help you understand all your coverage options. When I'm your farmer's agent, you're not stuck at the mercy of some computer. I'm your advocate when you need help. Visit my office today at 1154 Garfield Street here in Eugene, or give me a call at 541-284-2804.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the OSAA, are the 99,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Oregon. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number TC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the sportsanimaleugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
I just found my favorite new Little League baseball player, Danny.
This is The Drive. Thanks for tuning in.
You didn't find the Heisman odds for Coy Parrish?
No, but I found my new favorite Little League baseball player.
Go on.
I don't know which. Sorry, Danny.
No, I'm just going to say, I'm just trying to get live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studio. We do have to pay for the sponsors. Oregon Man Clinics hotline is open for you, 541-844-3484. Toll free, 877-844-3484. Jared Denny starts the Party Power Hour in the 5 o'clock hour. Go ahead. You found your new favorite player. We were just talking about during the break.
I don't know which team he was on. I just looked during the interview.
He's a South Korean kid.
Was he South Korean?
Yeah, he was at the bat.
He came up to bat, and it said, these kids are 12. It said dream job, and his said retirement.
Swear to God, I didn't see it, but he's still at the plate right now.
He's just trying to fast forward 55 years, 52 years, or maybe he's got a quicker plan than that. But I love
like that.
You know, most of these guys are pro baseball player, veterinarian, this and that, and his dream job at age 12 is retirement, and that's my new favorite baseball player. So again, I hijacked the show there.
No,
but
I just want to say, I
love
like how
that.
it had nothing to do. I was expecting, this guy has some cool hair or
No.
something. His
Retirement.
batting stance. It was like, no, I like that this guy
At
didn't
age
want to do
12,
anything.
he just wants to skip over that whole career thing and get to retirement, and that's my new favorite Little League baseball player.
Isn't the Little League World Series the best, though? To me, I love it.
No.
So, no?
It's not the best. It's
Come
fun to watch.
I'm
on.
the biggest fan, I have to say.
I hate the, and then you get like the
God,
kids.
you
in-
two grumps. Is
I'm
this?
sorry. I've
but
never
you
gotten
get
a Little League baseball
Yeah,
thing.
I'm with Justin.
You never,
it's
when you
not-
were
it
playing,
doesn't deserve
you
the
play?
number of hours it's getting.
Did you
on
play
YouTube.
Little League baseball?
I did, and I coached.
Okay.
Little- Hell, I coached Little League
Okay.
for 7 years.
And so you're saying you wouldn't want to go to Williamsport?
I would love to. My team wasn't quite good enough to.
Okay,
to
so
get
are you
there.
bitter? Is that the reason?
No, I'm not bitter. I just I hate turning in, and I see like some kid gives up a homer and he's crying. I'm like, well, I
Exactly.
probably
Well,
didn't need
that's
to be
gonna
on
hap-
national.
you know
That
what?
kid probably
Listen,
didn't need to be on national TV.
That's going to
doing that.
happen whether or not they got the camera on.
I did
said,
play
you-
Little League.
you- I
got
know
my
you did.
first nickname from Little League. It was Mighty Mouse.
Very nice. I played for Jackson County Federal Credit Union. We had white uniforms with the green letters and numbers. I loved them.
I played
Big hair. My hat would come down and my hair would poof out like Bozo the Clown.
I played for Gassick Insurance Agency in Northeast Portland.
Do you remember your
It was great.
sponsor?
Oh.
Gassick?
Gassick, Gassek,
We were
Insurance
the
Agency in
Athletics.
Portland.
You remember that part at
Yeah.
least. Okay, well there's nothing bad.
We
there.
were really good. I wasn't very good, but we were really good. We had a really good team. I was just kind of the right fielder and the relief pitcher, and we were in big blowouts. But anyway, we weren't getting to Little League. But anyway, the Little League World Series is fine. It's just
now he's
man, the
backing up a little
ESPN. I mean, is it 100 hours? I mean, it feels like there's
Listen,
every
there's
time
nothing
I
else
turn
going on. We're getting
Yeah, I
ready for
turned on. I wanted to
football.
watch a little something on TV this morning
What
at
a
8
segment
o'clock,
this
and it was
was.
already on.
So we'll talk Heisman Trophy odds next hour, along with Jamarcus Shepard audio.
And the kid who wants to retire.
And the kid who wants to retire. We're going to get his name. I swear we got to get his name. All right, we come back. Hour number 2 on The Drive. Thanks for tuning in on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the sportsanimaleugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Millions of Americans are glued to their TV weekly, watching a sport they love. Come and relive your childhood at A&J Sports Cards. They have a wide variety of sports cards and memorabilia. Eugene's home for collecting is A&J Sports Cards. Whether you're looking for the stars from the past or the present, you'll find them at A&J Sports Cards. They are here to meet your hobby needs. That's A&J Sports Cards, 1478 West 6th Avenue, 541-343-5561.
CCB number 195698. JT Bailey here, owner-operator of All County Garage Door, Eugene Springfield's independent and locally owned garage door experts. Looking to upgrade your home's curb appeal, thermal efficiency, safety, and security? A new garage door checks all those boxes, and All County Garage Door is here to help. From new doors, new operators, and any and all garage door operator repair, we have you covered. And with a 15-year reputation of top-quality work and top-notch customer service, you can count on us. Give us a call at 541-521-8986 or visit us at allcountygaragedoor.com.
Your best coverage of the Oregon Ducks is this fall right here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. 3.5 hours before every Oregon football game, we will be live with interviews, a breakdown of the game, coverage of all the games in the Big Ten, Pac-12, and Top 25, along with ways for you, the fans, to join in. If you're in Eugene for the game, we'll be live from the Mercedes-Benz USA Eugene lot on MLK Boulevard. Stop by for some treats, games, and the best coverage of the Ducks by anyone. The Unauthorized Tailgate Show. We might not have the official stamp, but we wipe out the competition on our coverage. This fall, each week, the Unauthorized Oregon Tailgate Show, presented by Mercedes-Benz USA of Eugene, our friends at Coquel Casino and Resort, Tracktown Pizza, Mid-Valley Tractor, and the Back Nine.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
KORE Springfield, Eugene, 1050 AM. Translated on 275CX 1029 FM. This is the Sports Animal Eugene.
Well, you hung around for 1 hour. You might as well make it 2. And hey, the trifecta is out there if you want to lay some odds. Apparently, we're all going to start betting on things.
Coy Parrish Heisman odds.
I'd bet $1.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
But that's the problem. That's why I don't do this.
No,
'cause
see,
all of a sudden I'm gonna be losing a lot of
dude,
dollars.
it is a slippery slope, brother. You know, we've talked about this before because once you start, you get that little, especially when you win the first one.
Never done it.
I know,
except for with you when we went to Coquel.
We did, and it was very minimal.
It was fun.
It was minimal, and that's I was teaching something. It's just like, do not go crazy. Just like whatever you have in that pocket, that's what. And if that's gone, that's gone. And then you've learned your lesson, and then move on. But to me, I'd rather. Hey, listen, wagering is now legal pretty much everywhere in this country. So we join the rest of the world when it comes down to it. But to me, I'd rather lay down $10, $15, $20 and have 5 games that I'm looking at and get 3.5 hours or 4 hours of enjoyment instead of throwing that into, and no offense, but there are people that, there are people that do that really well. I'm just not one of them. And that's why there's a wildly different ways that you can win hundreds of thousands of dollars. And God bless you if you do. So our friends at Coquel Casino Resort, who are one of our huge sponsors, and we will be having our big bet segment coming up, which betting. It'll come up next week. So we've made an executive decision that we don't have enough good games this weekend because we still have NFL preseason, blah. The 0-week games for the NCAA are just not good. I mean,
we'll talk about that eventually.
TCU, North Carolina in Ireland.
Come on, you don't like
Hawaii,
TCU
Stanford,
in Ireland?
Hawaii, Stanford.
Hawaii and so they tore down Aloha Stadium. You know that? Really?
They did.
They
Yeah,
did.
I
They
think they
tore down
rebuilt
Aloha.
it,
So
didn't
what's
they?
well, it's not done yet. So where's Hawaii playing this year?
Probably Hawaii.
Well, there's no place else to play. All right, smart Alec. That's
Come on,
well done.
The one that
was
does the dad
good.
jokes every
So,
single
you know
day.
what?
I
You
can't
can
get one
go-
in there.
You know what you need to find? You need to have a rim shot there, and then you can when you do that, you just bang it out right away, and then we're good. We are the Three Amigos here on The Drive. Thanks for tuning in on the Sports Animal Audio Network. If you're in Klamath Falls, you're listening on AM 960 Sports KLAD, the Ace Sports Radio 1079 1300 AM KDSO. Our friends in Newport, Fox Sports Newport 92.7 KNCU, and Joey Kieran. I talked to him a couple of times today, 1490 AM and 92.3 FM, the Score in Roseburg. We will have Jared Denny. We'll talk high schools throughout the state. We're also going to discuss, before that, the OSAA preseason football coaches poll. We've got the 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A that are ready to go. Some of these stations are going to pick up our scoreboard show in the fall as well. Just to let you know, we are a full-service organization. We will have a statewide scoreboard show. Yours truly will be on the show this Friday night. Not by choice, but because I didn't raise my hand up fast enough to say not me. So I'm going to be on the program this Friday after
Steve, what are you
our
doing
coverage.
Friday?
No, don't rope him in. No.
I'm playing in the Crazy Eights out at Shadow Hills Country
He's not-
Club. I
he's
got
not even-
invited.
he's
I
not
got
even-
invited to play Crazy Eights at Shadow Hills.
Not
so
even going to be here for the entire
I'm
show
just
on
kidding.
Friday.
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
no.
So-
You know, I would be here if I didn't, but I was invited by friends, and you can't say no to friends. I can't tell them no. I'm doing a high school show, so
I
doing
actually
What are your
will-
friends doing Friday? I'm just kidding.
I actually really will enjoy doing the Friday night thing. I didn't mean that as I'm going to be calling the game up here the week after that. I enjoy the high school stuff. It's
Yeah, it's great.
fantastic. It's
Absolutely.
absolutely the best.
especially around here, it's good stuff.
So we'll talk about that a lot. Jamarcus Shepard audio, as we heard the other day, that there's a quarterback. We have a quarterback. It's a boy. And Jamarcus Shepard has made the decision with Mitch Dahlen and the coaching staff to name a former Mercer quarterback as the new starting quarterback in Corvallis. And there's some consternation there from, well, some fans, but not really, because I think if they name Malik Murphy the quarterback, I think there would have been some groans. No, nothing against the kid. I think, he pours his heart into it. I would guess that's my guess, but they were pretty impressed with the rest of the guys they brought in. This is one of the reasons they shelled out some money. They got him in the portal, right? Jamarcus Shepard said, I need to do something. So he did. Heisman Trophy odds. We'll talk about the favorites. A couple of names up on the list. You chilly? Who's? Okay. Well, I keep it like a meat locker in here. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like a talk show studio. It's like when you do a talk show with the big time TV guys with all the equipment. You got to keep it chilly in here. The most recent experience P4 rosters. Does it matter? Big Ten is barring NFL returnees by league rule. We talked about it the other day. A couple of Cleveland Brown and another player going to LSU. Lane Kiffin's now recruiting back from the NFL, and the SEC they've been mute. We'll
Didn't
talk
Sankey
about.
release a statement?
Sankey said he didn't
when?
want it, but I don't think he can get
He
the whole
didn't-
group on it.
No.
I think the Big Ten went a step further and said we're not.
They
gonna allow
voted.
these
I think
guys."
the Big Ten voted and said unanimously
Right.
no. And I think the LSU, I think Sankey said, "Hey, we're going
Don't
to
do
come
it.
out and say,
Yeah.
but we can't get the unanimous decision."
So
to
it
do
was a nothing burger then. If he's
From
going to
the-
come out
from
and
the
say
SEC.
no, yeah,
He's
from the
saying, "Hey,
SEC.
Lane's doing." He's basically coming out and saying, "Hey, we're not in favor of this, but we can't stop Lane from doing this."
Okay. So where do you guys want? You want to start Heisman Trophy odds, or do you want to start with Jamarcus Shepard?
Jamarcus Shepard.
Okay, let's do
Let's
that.
talk
So
about
I
the
gotta-
quarterback.
All right, we'll talk about
This
the
is
quarterback
news,
then.
real news.
Yeah, all right, want to hear? Let's hear from Jamarcus Shepard, then we'll talk about it.
Let's start with this. We announced the starting quarterback as Braden Atkinson. When I talk about Braden, that does not mean that I have an indictment on anybody else and how they played. It is just really, truly highlighting him as a person. And it does not mean that the other players did not showcase the things that were necessary as well to be the starting quarterback. Braden just rose to the top, and that's just how it was. Okay, all right. When the statistics all were laid out, his numbers were just like a little bit better than some of the other ones. I will tell you this: in the event that we have to turn to one of those other quarterbacks for whatever reason it may be, I have full confidence that these guys will be able to go out there and perform to a point where they all were completing the ball right at about 78%, equally across the board. And so it was a tight race. There were a few other factors that factored in: turnovers, all right, putting the ball in jeopardy. And I think I kind of mentioned those things to you guys before, but that's what brought Braden to the top, okay? Team was excited about him getting this opportunity, all right, and we want to make this fun for him, but also give him the chance to right now get prepared mentally to be that starting quarterback. So we are splitting the reps up. Malik's getting reps with the 2s and 3s, and so is Brady as well. But we're giving Braden the 1 reps going forward.
So here's the first thing that came to my mind when I heard that the first time, and now I heard it again, is Jamarcus Shepard sounds like an old ball coach rather than a new ball coach. He said a whole lot in there, and the thing that I pull out of it is he's trying not to lose the rest of his quarterback room, especially Malik Murphy. Now, I brought this up the other day, and you guys said they don't care. Now, and I understand now it wasn't like they don't care about his feelings. It's like they don't care if he gets his feelings hurt when it comes to, you're going to be the guy, you're not going to be the guy. But that right there, that entire statement was more about, do they have all that confidence? I think they do, but there's so many unknowns. We talked about unknowns in certain position groups for Oregon. Braden Atkinson's a proven commodity at Mercer, but Mercer isn't playing Boise State. And so let's just it's FCS, and he got blasted by South Dakota in the playoffs. I mean, I think he went 13 for 40 or something else like that, 133 yards in his last game at Mercer. So we'll see how it turns out. But I think rolling the dice with a new quarterback and a new offense and trying to change things around, I think there's positives to that in Corvallis.
Yeah, I do think you're 100% right. That is what stood out to me as well, that it definitely seemed like he was trying to like soften the blow a little bit from Malik Murphy among the other quarterbacks. I do think the thing that I would say, not maybe clarify is the right word, but I think the angle that I was taking on the Malik Murphy situation in terms of his importance is when they brought him in, they were building the team around him. Right, like he was the guy. They spent what was it, $1.5 million.
Yeah, he was the captain of the Titanic.
They're just not doing that anymore. They're not building the team around him at this point. If he's going to fit in there and be a productive part of it, they're happy with that. They're going to have him be one of the guys, but he's not the guy anymore, which is what he was brought in to be. He was the guy.
I am 100% with both of you guys that if I'm Braden, I'm kind of ticked off about that answer. It's like, I would have like, hey, Braden's great. We're really into it. It's like, hey, he's pretty good, but the other guy's pretty good too. And if one of the other guys has to come in, one of the other guys is going to do a pretty good job too. Braden just a little bit better. He was like 78%. The other guys were 76%.
The numbers. We almost couldn't even decide.
They were kind of right there.
I don't know if the voice raised that high.
It's like,
I got you.
if I'm the starting quarterback, I'm like, how about you like say one good thing
well,
about
he
me?
did, though. He said the team was excited. He did say the team was
excited. But the team's really trusting the other guys too. And if these other guys come in, they're at 74%, Braden's at 76%. It's like, are we really that? And we don't have like a transfer portal right now. These other guys can't leave.
Yeah.
What are you so paranoid about to not be like, hey, I'm going to spend the first minute talking about how great Braden is and the things he's done. And then, hey, I'll acknowledge the other guys. But it was like, how's Braden? Braden's doing good. But these other guys also, don't overlook Malik and the other guy that nobody knows his name of. That was just really bizarre to me. And if I'm an Oregon State, if I'm the quarterback or the quarterback's family, I'm like, good Lord, can you like talk about me for like a minute before you have to defend the other guys, or you're so worried about it? And again, I don't think Malik Murphy, I don't know what he's making in NIL, but I don't think he's quitting tomorrow and leaving that money because he's not making that money in the real world, and he's not going to the NFL. And so I don't know why he was so paranoid to make sure that, and again, I don't get that. That was a bizarre one.
And he's not making as much as he did last year.
He's not,
Mr. Murphy.
but he's making more than he's making in a first-year job out of college.
Making more than the three of us combined.
He's making more than he would in the NFL.
He's making more. He's making more than. Well, I don't even know about that, but he's making more. I don't think he's got an NFL future. And I think Malik Murphy knows my next job is going to be in the real world, and you don't normally start off at age 23 at what I'm making now. But that's so bizarre to me that he spent a minute basically talking about the backups without saying anything about the starter. Maybe that says something about the starter. I don't know, but that was a weird one for me.
The Bigfoot Beverages Studios, the Oregon Man Clinics hotline open for you. I'm sure there are some
Sorry
thoughts.
if my voice got too high on that one, but that was just, I
listen,
hadn't heard that, and that was just bizarre to me.
Live in Eugene, you can call us 541-844-3484. Toll free outside the Eugene market. We'll pay for the call 877-844-3484. Still upcoming, we'll talk Heisman Trophy odds, and we'll have Jared Denny starting the Party Power Hour number 3, the 5 o'clock hour here on the Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network. I'll say before we get into Heisman Trophy odds is whatever you had last night for dinner and however you slept in, Goose, do this every day. If you can bring this energy every single day to the program, I think we might win an Emmy.
I got home from the radio show last night at 6:15. It was too late for dinner, and we had a Zoom with my sisters.
Oh,
so I had wine and cheese for dinner, so it wasn't a full meal. It was wine and cheese, and I woke up at 5:45 today, so I didn't get a big dinner or I didn't sleep.
So there we go. I think that's the recipe. Don't you? Do you feel the energy that's coming over here right now? I mean, we can feed off.
Can't
of
do
this.
it today. Actually, I'm going out for wine and cheese tonight with my in-laws and my wife afterwards. But if you want to have like wine and cheese waiting here at 6 o'clock every night after the show,
he's like
I'm good.
in the buffet line here in the middle of the studio. I'm not doing that, dude. All right, let's go to Heisman Trophy. Do you guys, unless there's something more you want to talk about with Jamarcus Shepard?
No,
and
I
this
just wanna know
announcement.
I just want to know why he can't say one good thing about a starting quarterback.
Well, I do think it's something you brought up yesterday. It's kind of interesting in terms of the fact that why didn't they maybe bring out Malik Murphy for the first couple of games after, you get through, maybe to get to Montana, and then you bring out Braden Atkinson.
You mean let him take all the shots, the body shots?
Let him take the beats and let the fans be like, this guy stinks. And then you go into Montana going, hey, all right, Malik's had his time. We're bringing the new guy. And then the fans like, all right, this is the guy we wanted to see. Whereas now
Now you're going to
No.
probably get 2 weeks of Braden Atkinson.
Exactly.
Probably
and
not
he's a
looking very
drop
good.
back, as Danny mentioned yesterday. So he's
not going to run.
He's going to take hits.
Right.
And
He's
may-
not going to be that guy that can just scramble around.
Maybe that's why Jamarcus did it. Maybe he knows that Malik's starting the Montana game because Braden's not going to make it through the first two. I don't know.
A lot of reverse psychology.
I was going to say there's a whole lot of stuff there to unpack. Thanks for tuning into The Drive, wherever and however is south, north, east, and west. Let's talk about Heisman contenders. CJ Carr is not the leader in the clubhouse. He and Arch Manning are pretty much a dead heat as the favorites, as the odds makers. And again, Goose is frantically working on the laptop.
No.
Darian Mensah, the kid who transferred to Florida, is next, along with Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss. Then Dante Moore is at plus 1,100. Julian Sayin, anywhere from plus 1,100 to 1,300. And then Jeremiah Smith, the wide receiver from Ohio State, 1,400. It's the top
Quarterback.
Sorry, did I say quarterback?
You said wide receiver.
Jeremiah Smith is a wide receiver.
Oh, I thought on mine it's Justin Sayin.
Yeah, Julian Sayin
Julian
is
Sayin,
right there
sorry.
with Dante Moore, and then I moved right to Jeremiah Smith. Sorry, who's the wide receiver? He's the top non-quarterback.
Got it.
And then Josh Hoover is the next one. So, do we like this field? Do we think there's somebody else that could appear on this radar? I mean, to me, again, this is kind of like preseason polls to me. It's like,
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
It's okay. We can talk about it, which we are right now.
I don't know why Arch Manning's 2. I mean, I get if you're
I told you I don't like Arch Manning.
I think Arch Manning's a good quarterback. I'm gonna sit there and go, okay, fine, I'm with you. Like he played better the second half of last year. Like I get it, but like Heisman, I'm not.
He's
seeing
got a
Heisman.
whole lot to prove to me.
He's
And I've
not
already said
behind
this.
Dante Moore to me. And the thing about Dante Moore is I think Oregon's interesting with the Heisman stuff because it seems like every year the last 3 or 4 years they've had a guy that's been in the Heisman race. And of course, in terms of the branding, like I know I have that great bow nose shirt. They did the Heisman stuff for Dante Moore as well, but they only do it with the marketing. They don't really do it on the field. Like you're not going to see Dante Moore out there in the fourth quarter when it doesn't mean anything, bombing 60-yard touchdowns over Georgia Southern cornerbacks like we saw Jaden Daniels doing a couple years ago. So that's the thing about Dante. I think Dante actually might be the best quarterback. I think he is going to be on a team that will market him, but I don't know if they're going to actually statistically do it on the field, which is sort of the issue for Oregon quarterbacks.
Arch Manning, I'm with you on that, but if he beats Ohio State week 2, he moves to the top, and it's going to take a lot. And again, I'm just saying from betting odds, I'm not saying how good he is or this and that. If he wins the game of the year in week 2, and he's already at number 2 on that, he moves to a point to where he probably needs to lose 2 games before he drops off.
Which
and
I
part
can
of that is
absolutely
the
see
name.
happen.
Again, the name recognition matters here. Name does
I'm
matter.
with
in
you,
this
and he
thing.
plays for Texas.
So
I'm
if
with
you're
you.
betting, that's why I'm actually surprised that CJ Carr is ahead of him in the odds because I think
It's Notre Dame, and everybody loves Marcus Freeman
But I
and
don't
what
get
he's
the
been
CJ
able to
Carr
build
thing.
it.
Yeah,
Why is he number 1? I mean,
It's a
I'm with you
tie.
too.
It's
It
a
hasn't
virtual
been-
tie at number 1. They're both plus 700.
Yeah, I'm
So
with you. I don't get that one either. But also, I would tell you this: you named 7 players. You named the top 7, and this is probably an obvious answer. If you gave me the field, I'm taking the field every day. This is the Fernando Mendoza. Last year, Fernando Mendoza
That's why
was
I
not.
just asked the question: Is
on
there
this and there.
somebody we don't even know about?
Yeah,
yet?
there's
a Rocco Beck
there's-
could come out of the
Ashton
woodwork.
Jeter, Trinidad Chambliss. There's 1,500 of them. There are literally Coy Parrish is apparently.
You are in love with that right now with the Coy
that
Parrish
was,
thing.
a one.
He's going to have a T-shirt.
But I would tell you this: that I would think that the 2 best bets on there for me is. See, the problem with Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin is same team, and if they do really well, you're going to get votes for Sayin, you're going to get votes for Jeremiah Smith.
split 'em up.
Well, people don't even
That's-
think Sayin's like the reason why they're good anyway.
Can we go back to Arch Manning for a second? Is that I agree with you, Goose, when it comes to that, but that's why, to me, I'm from Missouri when it comes to Arch Manning right now. You got to show me. Because I have seen.
I was wondering where that Missouri, the show me state. I get it. I was wondering where you're going. That I'm Missouri.
I thought you were
didn't
going
get
like
that.
I'm Switzerland.
I get it. Hey, good one.
Okay, thank
Good
you.
one.
I appreciate
didn't
that.
get
Well,
it.
I
That
mean,
was
that's
over my
fine.
head.
Now you learn something. You can say that. Is somebody they got to show me something. And it's not that I don't believe in Arch Manning, is that I haven't seen enough positive from him against quality opponents consistently to say he's in a class with even a Julian Sayin or a Darian Mensah. I mean, that kid against, the ACC was not a gauntlet, okay? Not at all. but he performed and overperformed. Arch Manning in big moments folded. Now, again, granted, it was early and it was in a really hostile environment against Ohio State, but it kind of cascaded his entire season in the wrong direction. So now if he can get himself back, I mean, I think he's uber talented.
Which is why I say if he wins
I
week
agree.
2, he's there. I don't care if he
I got to see it.
If he goes 10 for 12 for 114 yards, but they beat Ohio State, he is at the top
So,
of that
but if
list.
he
And
le-
the name
but-
recognition is part of that. Just comes. I'm sorry, but
if you're a voter, I want to always put the hat on you, though, with the voters. Does that sway you? The name, does that sway you?
Not me, but many Heisman voters, yes. There are Heisman voters out
ridiculous.
there who are lazier than me. I'm just gonna say I was a Heisman voter. I was a Bolitnikoff Award voter, as you talked about. I was a Lou Groza Award
So
voter.
how do you
and
get
I
to be
paid
a-
attention to those
How do-
things.
Wait,
Wait, how
we need to have a whole.
Yeah, how does this happen?
What? No, we need to have
Where
an
do we apply?
entire section just in the program, an entire segment about how Steve Mims was able to get on these voting lists.
I was
No,
I was covering college football for a newspaper.
I'm saying you're taking it the wrong way. I want to know. I want to be a voter.
They don't ask me to go out and kick field goals before I vote on the Lou Groza
Do they,
Award. They're
do
not
they
asking.
email you? Like, how does this work?
Yes, they send one over and say, we're trying to get some voters for this award. Would you do it? And most people go, no, I don't want to do it. And I said, yeah, sure. I'd love to do it.
I want to have.
I would love to do it too.
I want to have.
And
the
I'd get
opportunity
weekly
to do
updates
that.
on the top kickers in the country. It was great.
Okay.
But anyway, my point is, I was a more educated voter. I do think a lot of people look and just say, I don't, yeah, because also the Heisman, look at it, there's like 620, it's a huge number of voters. It's way more than it should be. So you're going to get a lot of people who are covering a team and then go home just at the hotel at night and watch and see highlights and see that Arch Manning beat Ohio State. And they're going to put them there. That's the way
All
it's
right. So
gonna
we threw a bunch of names out there, and the consensus of the amigos is
nothing.
We're taking the field.
I'm taking the field.
The
Absolutely.
the animals are taking the field. When we come back, the most and least experienced P4 rosters. Doesn't really matter at this point. We'll discuss next here on The Drive and the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not real. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
Make the most of your summer with an end-of-season road trip and some fantastic savings on a new Chevy or GMC at Kendall Chevrolet GMC of Eugene. Lease a new 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT Crew Cab 4x4 at just $395 per month for 36 months with $2,895 cash or trade equity due at signing, or get 0% APR. Take $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2026 GMC Sierra 3500 Denali Ultimate Crew Cab 4x4. Stop by Kendall Chevrolet GMC of Eugene and save today. Kendall, let's start something great.
VIN number TC419764 and TF249826. $0 security deposit based on 10,000 miles per year. See lease posting at Kendall Chevrolet GMC or call 877-371-8620 for complete lease details. 0% APR for up to 60 months with $1,667 for $1,000 borrowed. All financing on approved credit. Price does not include title registration or tax. Subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 8/31/26.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
Then we should take our TV ratings and head over to Top Rated Video Only.
at Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
You'll be sorry.
In Jansen Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene, Video Only.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinic step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
Where do people in Eugene, Springfield go for their boating needs? Maxim Marine. Maxim Marine sells the industry's top boat brands, Thunderjet, Bolton, and Fishrite. New or used, you can find the right boat and accessories for you. If you're in the market for a new motor, Maxim Marine carries the finest outboards, including Suzuki, Yamaha, Mercury, and Tohatsu. Need repairs? Maxim Marine is your factory authorized service center located right here in Eugene on Highway 99. Maxim Marine for all your boating needs.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. The truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
There we go. Right in the middle of hour number 2 of The Drive, Sports Animal Audio Network. We're live across the state of Oregon. We got the south covered. We're going to start moving eastward and a little bit further westward, maybe a little bit north. Every direction. Based in Eugene, Oregon. Thanks for tuning in. It's Danny, it's Steve, it's Justin, and it's you. And the Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-844-3484. Toll free 877-844-3484. You can chime in. We've thrown a lot of topics out there. We had Zach Neal start the program today. Heard from Evan Stewart, heard Jamarcus Shepard. We talked about the Heisman Trophy odds, and we've arrived at the most and least experienced P4 rosters. Does it matter segment? Jared Denny coming up to start the Party Power Hour, which is the newly named 5 o'clock hour here on The Drive. All right, boys, does it really matter if you have an experienced P4 roster or if you have the most experienced roster? Interesting. I think, well, you know what? Baby J, normally Steve and I jump in and we start all these things. Why don't we let you lead us into this conversation?
Sure. I'm happy to do it. Well, let's start off by listing some of the most and least experienced P4 roster. So by career snaps. So the most.
So where'd this come from, by the way?
From The Athletic, compiled by The Athletic.
Okay, awesome. Let's give them their due. They did the work.
That's fair. Virginia, 54, almost 58,000 or almost 55,000 career snaps. Number 2, this one's interesting. Oklahoma State. With all those transfers, they're the second most experienced roster.
Transfer group, yeah.
Yeah. So then,
so all of them were taken in Denton, Texas, by the way, in North Texas.
Speaking of Texas,
second most experienced, but probably like 39th or
well,
130th most experienced at their current school.
Together.
That's what we're going to talk about.
But those guys are
Continue.
together. You're right. Those guys have been together, though. Just not the same place they are now.
Right.
Here we go.
So the number 3, Texas Tech. That's a talented roster as well.
Yeah.
Number 4, UCLA. Number 5, Colorado. So I'm not sure we're expecting much out of those two teams. Maybe UCLA has some things they can.
I think Bob Chesney. I think he's a good coach, and I think he brought some things over from JMU. I think he plucked some things, and I think he was able to recruit some kids.
I'm going to give the bottom 5, and then I want you guys to both guess where Oregon is. So bottom 5 from 64 to 68 is Syracuse, Michigan, Mississippi State, North Carolina, and the least experienced roster in the Power 4 is what I meant to do. Your Iowa Hawkeyes. Isn't that a little bit surprising?
It is surprising. It's normally Kirk Ferentz. You think is
Somebody
the
saying
old
you were looking at
school
me
guy
like
who's
it's
keeping
my
the team together.
Iowa Hawkeyes. My Iowa Hawkeyes?
I think that they're our Iowa Hawkeyes in the Big Ten. We share the conference with them at this point.
Yes.
So I thought that was interesting. That's a school that I would have expected to be higher. But I also kind of think it makes the point of we're not expecting Iowa to be one of the worst teams in all of P4.
They were 9-3 last year.
So I don't know how much it does matter. So now let's play the game of, so out of the 68 schools that are in the P4, where do you think Oregon is?
24.
39.
44. So Goose was closest.
Win. That's a win.
That's a win for Goose.
All right,
Put
so
that on big bets. I want that added to my big bets this week.
I'm looking at his computer. He read the article. I
think
I cry foul.
Josh Pate had a great point a couple of years ago about Clemson. I think it kind of came into effect last year with Clemson, where they brought back a lot of guys, and because of that, everybody thought they were going to be really, really good. They brought back Cade Klubnik, they brought back a bunch of starters, and instead of building on what they had done the year before, I think what actually happened was they had a ceiling because of that. They had guys that you already knew how good they were, and they weren't going to get much better. So I think in some ways, if you have an experienced roster, it can be really good because you have that continuity if they're all really talented. But if they're not a bunch of talented guys, it doesn't matter how much experience they have together because they're not very good.
Correct. Your point, I will quote what Dana Altman used to always tell me. The most important thing is talent. The
Steve?
second most is experience. And
He would
that
say
makes
Steve
sense.
first. He would look at me and say, Steve?
Steve? Fellas? I'm telling you, fellas. Let's have some fun here. Fellas? He would then say, but I would ask him about this sometimes because this like be preseason. It's like, hey, you got all these new guys. And he would say, number one is talent. Number two is experience. And that follows what you're saying. Yes, it would be great to have an experienced team, but if it's all your guys back from last year and 1-11 last year, that's not good. I look at Indiana last year. Very experienced, very old, but talented because they were guys that Cignetti had brought along and were good ones there. So I think, yeah, experience it's kind of like, if you look at, like the magazines, hey, they got 9 returning starters on offense and 7 on defense. They're going to be really good this year. Yeah, but they weren't very good last year, whereas we always look at that and kind of compare that. So I think the most important thing is talent. I'm going to go with Dana. Number one's talent. Number two is experience. If you can have like Oregon this year, it's more experience than last year, still as talented, more experience, which is why I think people are excited about this year's group. Whereas if you told me again that Oklahoma State has the third most experience, but that's not a group that's played together before. So I'm not going to put that up there with the team that was 44th in Oregon.
Well, so 68 teams on the list. So Oregon in the bottom third of experience.
Yeah.
Which is kind of proving out that hypothesis that you threw out there. To me, it always comes down to this as well, is you can have somebody who has learned bad habits. That's experience. I played under somebody for 2 years. They weren't teaching me the right technique. Doesn't matter how many snaps I had. So then you have to unwind all of that and rewind it to what you want to try and do. And it's also, who were you playing with? Where were you playing? Who were you playing against? Again, the most seasoned person, just because you have longevity doesn't mean you're the best at what you do.
I also think something interesting here, we have to make note of the numbers. It's hard to kind of say every single number over radio, but the difference between number 1 and number 5, number 1 is Virginia with about 55,000 snaps. Number 5 is Colorado with 45,000. The difference between number 5 Colorado and number 4 Oregon, or 44 Oregon, is about the same. It's about 10,000. So there's like a kind of a range here where I think that the most are significantly more, but then everybody else is pretty much in the same area. Ultimately, yes, there are some differences, but I think ultimately schools aren't super different in terms of experience.
So as we close this off, because I'm ready to move on to, does the Big Ten, barring NFL returnees, put the conference at a disadvantage? This is a juicy topic. I'm looking forward to this one. Here's the biggest thing I take away from all of that is there are several researchers that had a little bit more time on their hands heading into the college football season.
That's what those researchers are paid for.
That's right.
That's why ESPN's got a team of researchers.
That's right. When we come back here on The Drive, does the Big Ten, barring NFL returnees, put them at a disadvantage competitively? Interesting topic. The Oregon Man Clicks hotline open for you at 844-3484, toll free 877-844-3484, live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. This is The Drive.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is on now at Kendall Ford. Get to Kendall and get 0% APR, $1,000 towards your down payment, and even a complimentary 2-year premium maintenance plan. Available on select new 2026 Ford models. Get up to $11,000 in discounts off MSRP on all remaining 2025 Super Duty trucks. A new four-wheel drive 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Heritage is priced at only $29,990. Or get into a new all-wheel drive 2026 Ford Maverick XL Crew Cab, now just $29,630. Get in on the Ford Summer Sales Event and stop by Kendall Ford today. Kendall, let's start something great.
Bid number 1FSED 79864, 3F SRF 02030, and 3F TRB 01616. Financing and approved credit $27.78 per month per $1,000 finance. See dealer for qualification to complete list of eligible vehicles, coverage details, and limitations. All factory rebates subject to change. Price does not include title registration or tax. Subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 8/31/26.
Yeah. Can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Enjoy cool savings on Mountain Dew fountain drinks all summer long. Any size for just $1.50 at participating convenience stores.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
I've seen it. I've covered it. I'm Alex Rogers, your local farmer's agent in West Eugene. When you need auto, home, life, or business insurance, Farmers can help you protect everything you've worked so hard to achieve. I really enjoy what I do, and I can help you understand all your coverage options. When I'm your farmer's agent, you're not stuck at the mercy of some computer. I'm your advocate when you need help. Visit my office today at 1154 Garfield Street here in Eugene, or give me a call at 541-284-2804.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the sportsanimaleugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Are you guys waiting for me?
I was going to take over, but then you came in. I thought I finally had the reins of this show. I was going to do it, and then you came back in.
Here's my biggest concern about you,
Stephen
Goose.
Justin
No.
show was about to take off.
Here's my biggest concern. I have no concern about Justin. Here's my biggest concern about you, Goose, is that you will not pay attention to a radio clock.
I don't even know where the radio
There
what a
you
radio
go.
clock.
No.
Hey, I know when it says we're back to the show
What?
that I got to talk.
The first thing that when I would come in and Steve would come in every day for our other show, which you have dead named, so we can't say what the name is, he would always ask, so 5634?
Yep.
Every single time.
Yep.
It would
Okay.
always make sure about the clock.
Okay. That's one break for an entire hour.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is that for our affiliates, and by the way, hello there in Roseburg on the Score, our friends at the Ace Sports Radio in Medford, KNCU in Newport, hello, AM 960 Sports in the Basin, Klamath Falls, Tule Lake, we love you. All those affiliates, they have things to pay. So we have to hit 4 breaks an hour. Can I trust you guys on, I was actually paying you a compliment, Justin, is that you would watch that clock and you know when we need to get breaks and everything else like that. I do not trust Steve to know. How many breaks an hour do we take, Steve? Do you remember what I just said 3 seconds ago?
Yeah, it's like 15, 30, 45 in the top.
No.
It is 3 and then the top.
Okay.
I know what we're doing.
That's right.
I know what we're doing.
No, we messed up a break the other day. We had the top of the hour snuck up on us, remember?
Oh,
That
man.
was a Danny thing. I don't think that was a we thing. I think that was a Danny thing.
Okay.
Well, I take
Let's
responsibility.
just
I'm the one that can keep clock here.
let's just see how many more checks I sign. You know, I think I
You're
got a
one
little bit
for
of power
two
there.
so far, so I'm gonna take the
Hey, listen,
responsibility.
if I bat 500 in the major leagues, I'm a Hall of Famer. That's all there is to that.
500 of my checks. My wife's going, what am I doing this for?
Live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. Thanks for tuning in and participating in the program. Thanks for all the folks that are watching us on Twitter and YouTube and the Twitch. Oregon Man Clinic's hotline is open for you. Open phones for the rest of this hour. Top of the hour, Jared Denny is going to join us, and we'll talk to the Register Guard reporter. A lot of high school stuff that's going to kick into gear. And I guess they can kind of call it 0 week. Not everybody's in action this weekend. A lot of jamborees this weekend across the state in high school football. But we will have a full slate of coverage for that. MLB Awards Watch next hour. And week 0 in our Party Power Hour. The week 0 of college football is upon us, and some intriguing matchups not this weekend in college football, but it's back. Also, we'll talk about the OSA preseason football coaches poll that got released in this hour as well. All right, so we talked about the most and least experienced P4 rosters, and so now we've moved to, and we've got some breaking news.
Breaking news.
So we have that little sound. We have breaking news because we're going to talk about does the Big Ten, barring NFL returnees, put the conference at a disadvantage? Apparently not. They were the trailblazers here. Goose?
The SEC has just come out and voted also to not allow pros. Notre Dame has just announced that they will also not allow pros. And the ACC is expected to vote tonight that they will not allow pros. So by the time this night is over with, anybody who wanted to come back from the pros. Now, again, there will be lawsuits. Look, there will be lawsuits. Well, true. Power 4. There will be lawsuits here. I mean, again, the tight end who just left the Browns to go to the LSU probably has his lawyers already with the injunction half written and trying to get it. But if you were following the story of the Daquan who was leaving the Browns and going to LSU, and Lane Kiffin was all in favor of it, the SEC has come out and voted and said that they will not allow that, and that Greg Sankey has unlimited power to come in and say, no, you can't. And so the SEC is now on board with it. So it looks like we are done for now. Again, so the Anthony Hankerson, the OSU running back who got cut and was talking about coming back.
No transfer portal.
Again, going to have to go to a lawsuit. Going to have to go to a courtroom.
No suit for you. No suit for you.
Unless he can find a judge, which he probably can find a judge.
I know there's a judge in Texas.
Probably in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, or in Texas.
And following, though, on your topic for this is because I would have said, yes, the Big Ten is at a disadvantage, because in a Wild West thing, as we talk about college football being, if you're going to take the high road, which is admirable, and say, we're not going to take these people, and somebody else says, we're going to take the road that says we will take them, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage there. But I think maybe the Big Ten coming out and doing that made at least the other schools realize, all right, this is going to look pretty bad if we're kind of plucking some people, because these aren't superstars they're bringing in. It's not like Fernando Mendoza's coming back and asking for another year and going somewhere. These are others. So I do think it would have put them at a disadvantage, but I think that might be what has led the other schools to come in and say they're going to do it this way too.
I think that's 100% why the SEC just did this. And I think that, and I was going to bring this point up before this even happened, but what I was going to say was, I think that this is going to look good for the Big Ten looking backwards. In hindsight, they're going to be the conference that said, nope, we're not going to do this. And then everybody else followed suit right after them. So I think that they're going to end up looking good because they were the school that decided to first say, nope, we're not going to do this.
Well, somebody got in Greg Sankey's ear, because the first statement that came out about this was kind of mealy-mouthed, and it's like, well, you know, I really would like to get a consensus and such, and couldn't. So I think there was some communication and phone calls and things flying back and forth, and satellites were linking up.
Probably a 15-1 vote, and Lane Kiffin was raising his hand in objection, and I think all the others, because LSU basketball had done too. LSU signed that RJ Luis yesterday.
Yep.
That's got everything, and so he had been the St. John's guy, so he's gone now too. Because this is actually interesting. Part of it lists there's 3 sports that this matters for. It's 3 leagues. It's NFL, NBA, and
WNBA.
WNBA is the third one. So those are the 3. They're not worried about baseball because that's separate. But so because LSU, Will Wade had been doing the same. So LSU had been the one kind of being really, and it looks like the rest of the SEC just said, look, if we have a 15-1 vote against them, we can go against. So that might even be who's suing tomorrow. Lane Kiffin might be down at the courthouse tomorrow trying to sue for RJ Lou, and him and Will Wade are down there
football
trying
games
to get
to worry about.
God, we
no, he's got to get his tight end in. And I'm
Yeah.
sure Will Wade will be down there trying to get RJ Louise.
Toll free 877-844-3484. Toll free. That's the number for you outside Eugene, in Eugene, 541-844-3484. That's the Oregon Man Clinics hotline, live from the Bigfoot Beverages studios. I think tomorrow what I want to bring up as a topic then, because we're not going to have enough time to talk about it now. We might, if we want to put it near the end of the show, is what's the obligation to the professional commissioners and those leagues to the college ranks? Because if we have much maligned how the NCAA is a toothless shark in this whole thing, isn't there somewhat of a responsibility from the professional leagues to try and help, mitigate some of the angst that's going on with the whole eligibility thing in the collegiate ranks? Because they're doing it in some sports somewhat, but it seems like in football, I mean, listen, before, I mean, you could have a high school kid, coming up through the and still is from the NBA, instead of going to school, bypassing the whole thing. Can't you start to think about, especially it seems like we're talking about a lot of football, kind of institute some of these things in the NFL?
Well,
you can.
You are correct on the fact that they have not allowing high school players directly into the NFL, having the 3-year limit. Now that's pretty much for them as well. That gives them free minor leagues. So the NFL, they're not doing that to save college sports. They're doing that because they have that. But if you're asking me, does Roger Goodell care if some guy cut by the Seahawks goes to college? He has no interest in that. He's not caring. He's not jumping in on that. And he can't anyway. I mean, again, because then he's in the lawsuit. Then LSU, then these guys are suing him. So he doesn't have any worry about the guy who's leaving his to go to backwards. He's not worried about that. Their job is just they can put in parameters to block people coming into their league, which again, they have the 3-year rule because that gives them a free minor league system.
But doesn't the NBA have a similar rule in terms of age?
1 year. They have the 1 year rule.
Okay,
yes.
so it's still
so they're doing that, but they don't care if some guy who didn't make the NBA and was in the G League goes back to college. They're not paying attention to that at all.
Well, maybe
but I have always thought that the NFL, while they get all the benefits of basically free promotion for the NCAA for guys for 4 years. I mean, we know who every single top draft pick is basically, and the NFL doesn't have to spend $1 to market them until they get to the NFL draft. I have always thought it was a little odd that basically every single time, the NFL, they're doing Saturday games now. Like they're basically like they don't mind opening up their legs a little bit and relaxing, and the NCAA is in the corner trying to go and I'm trying to get some space here, but I think it's odd. I do think there is a little bit of responsibility between the two. I guess you can call them organizations, but it is. I understand what you're saying, Goose, where they don't really necessarily care about a guy that doesn't make the league and then goes back to college. It is sort of the colleges.
They do the same thing to the NCAA they do to the NBA. Christmas Day, that's your day. Yeah. Tell you what, we're going to bring in 3 games, and you see if anybody wants to watch your Warriors Nuggets game, because we're going to put the Chiefs and the Broncos on that day.
All right, we'll talk high school football next on the program. Come on back on the other side. Oregon Man Clinics hotline, toll free 877-844-3484. 541-844-3484. It's live and local in Eugene from the Bigfoot Beverages studio. This is The Drive.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the Warehouse Club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know. Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Jansen Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene. Video Only.
At Sun Automotive, we are changing the image of the automotive industry. Our country depends upon cars and trucks, and our automotive technicians are the essential workers that keep families safe and businesses moving. At Sun Automotive, being an automotive technician isn't a plan B. It's a future and an important career that challenges you to grow and gives you the satisfaction of keeping people safe and on the road. For the best service under the sun, come to Sun Automotive.
Even though the weather is getting warmer, many people in our community are still vulnerable and need your help. Raven, Radical Assistance for Vulnerable Eugene Neighbors, is seeking donations to help those who need it most. Raven is asking for help with water bottles, raincoats, socks, shoes, blankets, tarps, and camping gear, or even a direct cash donation. Donations can be made at Raven distribution sites or via GoFundMe. For more information, visit our website, raveneugene.org. That's RAVEN, Eugene.org.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission license number TC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debts may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Did you know that errors in hospitals are the third leading cause of death in the U.S.? That's a frightening statistic, but some hospitals are better at protecting their patients than others. That's why the nonprofit watchdog, the Leapfrog Group, created the hospital safety grade, a letter grade that's assigned by experts twice a year to all general hospitals in the country. You can see how your local hospitals did for free and get tips on staying safe by visiting hospitalsafetygrade.org. That's hospitalsafetygrade.org.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of the drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
An appropriate lead into Jared Denny from the Register Guard, who will have the top of the hour, the Party Power Hour, 5 o'clock hour, the third hour of The Drive. Thanks for tuning in Klamath Falls, in Roseburg, in Newport, in Medford, and points in between, and online at sportsanimalEUG.com, all the social Sports Animal EUG, and online on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I'm Danny. There's Steve and Justin and you. And coming up, we're going to do some MLB Awards Watch, and week 0 of college football is here. Yay! You think so? OSA preseason football coaches polls have been released. Again, going off of what you think, what you feel, and the voters, some writers from throughout the state, and some others that cover TV reporters and such vote on this poll. Some coaches take part as well. Lake Oswego is the number 1 team in the 6A, according to this preseason poll. West Lynn, 2nd. Central Catholic, 3rd. Tualatin, 4th. Nelson, 5th. Willamette, 6th. Then Sherwood, Jesuit, Lake Ridge, and Grants Pass sneaks in there.
Can I
top 10? Yeah, go.
Say a little fact I learned about Lake Oswego today.
Yes.
Their backup tight end is apparently the number 5 tight end in the country in the 2027 or 8 class, I want to say. So I think that right there shows how good Lake Oswego is.
Steve Corey, the old ball coach, is still up there flinging it around.
Still going, man. And they're the defending champs, right? Didn't they win it last year?
Laco?
I thought Curry had a win last year because he'd been.
I think they did. Yeah.
I think he won it last year.
I don't remember.
Yeah, 2025.
Call that
believe,
in the 5A ranks, Silverton, Summit. Silverton's won 10 first place votes. Then Summit, Wilsonville, Mountain View, Thurston. Justin Stark's team gets in there. West Albany, the Bulldogs are there. Dallas, Sandy, Lebanon, and Canby. Others receiving votes of note, Churchill and Crater. Crater got in there with the receiving votes area. Silverton, after a somewhat down year last year, after a state championship the year before, is back out on top. According to this, Wilsonville's always there, it seems. West Albany, again, perennial. Mid-Willamette Conference is one of the toughest conferences up and down the line for football and has been for a while. 4A, let's move through it. Caskey, hello there, Henley Hornets. You're at number 2 in the 4A. Scappoose, Cascade Christian, Marist, Estacada, Marshfield, Tillamook, Banks, Central, and Junction City. So a couple of Eugene area schools in there. Got on the coast with Marshfield. And then Cascade Christian and Henley in there as well. And Cascade at number 1. They are the defending state champs. So I don't think there's any surprises there, boys, right?
No, but can I point out, we are the voice of the Willamette Wolverines, correct?
Yes.
Do you know who Willamette opens with on Friday?
They open up with Lake
Yes,
Oswego.
we do. What are they ranked in 6A?
Number 1.
Who?
So Willamette.
Do you know who Willamette plays in week 2?
Silverton.
What are they ranked in 5A?
Number 1.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Do you know who they play late in the season in a non-conference game? They play Summit.
Number 2. They also play Sherwood, who's number 7, and Jesuit, who's number 7. So this is not a SEC football schedule. He is kudos to Josh Lyon and Bill Wagner and those. They scheduled number 1, number 7, and then they get in the league. And the one break they get in league, they take on number 2 in 5A. So props to them.
So finish out with 3A. Burns is number 1. Vale, Santiam Christian, new head coach. Kennedy, Siuslaw, Mapleton combining their schools. Sisters, Dayton, Douglas, Scio. Douglas and Scio tied for 8th, although Scio did get a first place vote. I think it's one of the lowest first place.
Fascinating.
That must have been the reporter from Scio.
That must have been.
Okay, is there a reporter from Scio?
I don't know.
I always thought there was
Reveal
a great
yourself
story.
to me.
They had like these drop down menus.
Yeah.
That's how they did the voting for like baseball.
Yeah.
I remember there was a guy
Yeah.
that voted the wrong guy
Accidentally,
and it's the guy forever was thankful for it.
But boy, Cascade. People love Cascade. 16 for 16 first place
Yeah.
votes. They
Well,
must have like a.
They are reloaded
they got a
again.
D1 quarterback or something like that.
How
are
good.
they?
By the way, in 3A, just finished off. Sutherland and Warrenton round out your top 10. Jervis and Pleasant Hill, the Billies, get into the receiving votes area. So the 2A, 1As are going to be revealed tomorrow. If you go to osaa.org, they're going to have all the stuff. By the way, John Tawa and Jerry Elmer do a fantastic job. Austin White, I think, is still doing some stuff with them as well, covering the OSAA. That is, man, they are running ragged, especially when it comes to tournament time. Those guys are like writing all these the write-ups that they have to do, and they file it immediately, and it's right on point. Those guys are pros. So very fortunate to have them a part of the OSAA. So Justin, any quick thoughts on what you see here?
Seeing a lot of the area where in the Willamette Valley schools that are kind of in the receiving votes area.
I think I'm intrigued by Grants Pass in the 6A. That one intrigues me a bit. Let's see how they go. So again, preseason polls. Top of the hour. Let's ask Jared Denny, right? See what he thinks. Yeah. That's perfect. Great segue. Well done, whoever put that together. As back with our
Sometimes
number
they're
3.
right. Rest my case. Sometimes they're wrong. You want the truth. You can't handle the truth. But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
It kind of sneaks up on you. You're more tired than you should be, a little less focused, a little less motivated. Maybe you've gained a little weight. It's normal. A lot of men experience it, but that doesn't mean you have to live with it. At Hale Men's Clinic, personalized testosterone therapy can help you restore your energy, your clarity, your edge. Real solutions, real results. Hale Men's Clinic. Feel good now. Curious about your levels? Walk into Hale Men's Clinic in Eugene, Bend, or Roseburg for your free testosterone test today. More info at halemensclinic.com.
Beaver Nation, the 2026 football season is almost here, and now is your chance to secure your seats at Reser Stadium. Single game tickets are on sale now, giving you the flexibility to experience the matchups, moments, and energy of Beaver football your way. Bring your family, bring your friends, and be part of what we're building together. Visit beavertickets.com or call 1-800-GO-BEAVS to purchase your tickets today. Reser, build with us. Go Beavs.
Almost every car made over the last 10 years has a camera.
Did you know that when you replace a windshield, the camera needs recalibrated? If your glass provider doesn't fix the camera, you can have issues with safety features like forward collision alert, adaptive cruise control, or emergency braking. Don't trust some guy in a truck to fix or replace your windshield and then have to make a second appointment to calibrate your camera. You need Olson's Auto Glass, 2041 West 7th Avenue in Eugene. Olson's Auto Glass, repairing windshields since 1938.
Oregon. This is our home. From its wide Pacific shore to its majestic peaks and open desert, this state has it all. But one careless spark could take all of this away. Whether you're at home, at play, or on the job, the power and responsibility of wildfire is in your hands. Please, keep Oregon green.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
KORE, Springfield, Eugene. I'm Steve Mims. You can listen to me on The Drive weekdays from 3 to 6 on the Sports Animal Eugene.
The Party Power Hour. So we're calling it now here on The Drive. It is the Sports Animal Audio Network for a Tuesday. Made it past Monday. Wednesday's program is always fun for us because we get the Minister George Reister, who is one of the easiest interviews in the nation. And great content from George because he hosts the Unafraid show. He is now a part of the CW doing some Pac-12 coverage in studio hosts, and I think they might get him out and do a game or two. And then he does Talking Ducks. It's a podcast with Aaron Fentress and Oregon Live. And so, yeah, he's all over the place. And he just signed with On3. So we'll have George tomorrow on the program. There's always good information from George. You can follow us on the social Sports Animal EUG and also on the Twitter, the Twitch, and the YouTube. I always put the in front of it because I'm old. I'm Danny. That's Justin. And there's Steve. And we're awaited Jared Denny. So I will probably just step aside. I will let you and Jared talk for 15 minutes. Later on this hour, we'll talk MLB Awards Watch. Week 0 of college football is here. It is upon us. We have made it through the long, hot, dry summer. And let's head on over to the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline. Toll free, 877-844-3484. And locally at 541-844-3484 in the Eugene area, live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios and statewide. And let's welcome in for the first time on this program, this is the Steve Mims reunion tour. We had Zach Neal on earlier, and now Jared Denny joins us here. And there's his smiling face as you see him on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Jared, congratulations, I hear, are in order. You stammered the words out that said, I do.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, I'm a lucky man. I got married last month, and yeah, it's been great. I was just talking to Justin before we hopped on the air. It's been a little hard getting back into the work rhythm after a pretty busy summer, but it's fun, man. It's great.
Okay, so we started out the program, and now we've asked the other guest, Zach Neal, so we absolutely have to ask you, do you have the Find Me app on your phone so your new wife knows where you're at all times?
I do have it on my phone. It's not so my lovely wife can track me. It's how we keep track of our cats. We keep little AirTag collars on them. So I'm pleading the fifth. That's my excuse there.
Now wait a second.
He has to find my cat. Wait a minute. He has to find my cat
Not the Find Me. So you don't have the Find Me app on your phone for yourself. You have it for your cats.
That's correct. Yeah.
That is
So
acceptable.
okay,
That is
see,
acceptable.
that is an acceptable answer to Steve Mims. And by the way, we have that on Bailey. Once when she got lost, we put that in her collar. And what's great about it is you can watch, you can track, right, Jared? You can track exactly where your cat was in the neighborhood. You can see their entire path. That's good listening. Go ahead.
What did Neil say when you guys asked him?
Oh,
No, he's got it.
Oh, she's following him everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes, Mackenzie knows exactly where Zach's at.
Yeah,
he's a smart
but he
man,
also
sure.
said he doesn't go anywhere he's not supposed to go, so he's okay with it.
That's all right.
He goes to the football facility and back every day. He's a good reporter.
Yeah. So, Jared, how's the summer been otherwise? Because now, I mean, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of hours logged and a lot of long days as high school football, one of your main beats for the Register Guard, is upcoming. This is pretty exciting this season because I think there's some great matchups across a lot of different classifications.
I totally agree. And yeah, the summer was good. We got a little bit of, summer track stuff in. That's always fun. That's a nice change of pace. And now we're right back into this quick and dirty week 0, which I think has, I mean, you guys looked at the schedule. It's 2 of the best matchups in Lane County. I think we've seen in a long time between that Thurston Sheldon game and then the Willamette Lake Oswego game. Like that was one where like way back in June we're like, how are we going to do both of these? So that's it's really exciting, man. It's going to be a really good year.
Well, I know a guy that can go in and freelance for you for a second.
I've heard his day fee, his day rate is pretty excessive.
Oh yeah,
so we're gonna have to do some negotiating.
Yeah, as long as you sign the check, he's there for you.
There you go, man.
Jared, moving on to other topics. That Willamette schedule, we're just going over. Well, Lake Oswego, they open with Lake Oswego Silverton, which is number 1 6A, number 1 5A. Sherwood's top 10 6A, Jesuits top 10 6A. Then they get into league, and then their one come up for breath for non-league is Summit, which is 2 5A. You like that, or you think that's a little bit ambitious?
I love the schedule for them, man. I was talking to Josh Lyon about this a few weeks ago. I don't think he'll mind me telling. Like they went out to Dallas for a midseason non-league last year. Dallas, a very, very good 5A school, and now they're going to Silverton this year. And those are just like 2 of the like nastiest, like long bus ride, and then they're going to play like a weird janky style of defense, and they're going to drag you down in the mud and give you 4 quarters of hell. Like I think that's an awesome test for a team that has 6A title ambitions this year to have to go on the road out to play a more rural school that's going to be really tough in the trenches and really punch you in the mouth. And I covered Dan Lever up at Silverton for a few years. He does an awesome job up there with that program. So that's going to be a good test. I haven't seen Sherwood, but somebody's told me they run like a wing tee. So that's going to be a really good funky test. And then obviously Lake Oswego has, I think, probably the most D1 talent in the state out of anybody this year. So that's a hell of a schedule, man. I don't know how they're going to pull it off, but it's going to be fun to follow.
It will be. And I know how much you care about rankings. We've had plenty of debates on this show about the rankings, but they're at number 6 in 6A. Do you think that's pretty accurate, or do you think they're maybe getting a little bit disrespected?
I need 1 week. I need 1 week to see them before I can give you a real answer, because I think there's going to not a Tony Cumberland size hole in that defense, but like it's just going to be different than the last few years. Like they don't. Not to say that they like totally relied on Tony the last few years, but it was one of those like, all right, it's 3rd and 7, let's get him off the field and just have Tony go like wreck the entire offensive line. Like it's a pretty good calling card to have. So I think, without having watched them play a snap, I could look really stupid in a week or 2, but like I think they are probably a more talented team from top to bottom, from player like 1 to 85, so to speak. But like when you don't have that game record anymore, how does that look? And they have some very good defensive players. Like Tobias Chamberlain is going to go play inside linebacker at Oregon State. He's a heck of a player. Trip Johansson is going to go play defensive end at Montana State. Great motor. Like they have some very good defensive talent, but I'm just really curious to see what that looks like when you don't exactly have, one of the best players to come through Lane County in 15 years.
Yeah,
there at the heart of your defense.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're going to hope for the best for Tony Cumberland's health, who is dealing with the after effects of a car accident at the University of Oregon. And I just saw this article from you that came out, looks like 26 minutes ago, about South Eugene. It sounds like they're not going to have a varsity football team this season.
Yeah. I kind of woke up to a few texts about that this morning and made some calls. And I got that one out a little bit ago that they're going to play a sub-varsity schedule this year, which is, I believe it's the 3rd time in 5 years that they've sort of had to do that. And it's just a huge bummer. It's a bummer for the kids. It's a bummer for the coaches who have, like Eric Scott is the 2nd-year coach there, and him and his staff, I think, have poured a lot of sweat equity into that program and, try to get it up and running. And it's just like Mims knows it's a really, really tough task to keep that football program on track, just because of the sort of infrastructure over there and the lack of a youth program and some of those factors that other schools don't have to deal with. Like, I think people look at South Eugene and they're like, oh, they have, if not the highest kind of head count in Eugene, like one of the highest head counts when it comes to student attendance, but it's just a kind of a whole different deal over there when it comes to football. So I think Jim Moore, the athletic director, and Eric Scott, the head coach, they're trying, man. And it sounds like they're really going to try to get that youth program going. I wrote a little bit about that today, but I'll be curious to see what happens over there. They certainly aren't giving up, and they're looking out for the safety of their kids, and you have to respect that. But it is a bummer when you see a really proud school not be able to have a football program.
Jarrett Denny is a proud Daily Emerald alum, also formerly of On3 Sports, USA Today registered guard covering Oregon Preps and the Ducks for the RG. You can follow him on the socials, Jared, JARRID_Denny with ease. You can figure that out. You'll find him. And I love the Calvin and Hobbes on the Twitterverse as well. Jared, you're a man after my own heart. And we're here on the drive for the Sports Animal Audio Network throughout the state of Oregon in Klamath Falls, Roseburg, Newport, Medford, and here, of course, in the Eugene area. Jared, I want to stay on South Eugene. It's just perplexing to me. Is it, and I can go back, I mean, covering the days when I was doing more local play-by-play in the area when, Chris Miller, when C-Mail had the South Eugene Axemen, competing over there at a high level. I mean, is it purely a numbers game in terms of the geography in that area of kids that would want to come out? Because I know the reason that it's getting backed off is because health and safety of the kids. If you don't have enough numbers to sustain a program that's going to participate at a 5A or a 6A level, you're putting the kids in danger.
Yeah, absolutely. It is literally just a numbers thing. And, I was talking with Eric Scott, their coach, today. And I mean, they had 19 kids out the other day. There's nothing you can do at the 5A level to kind of do that safely. Like Churchill has been in sort of a similar boat at
really?
the 5A level in the Midwestern League. Like they're going to be around 25, 26, 27 kids this year, I think. But those kids most of those kids have played football since they're in the third grade and come up through the middle school level. And, I mean, with that that sort of 25, 26, 27 head count last year, like Churchill went to a 5A semifinal. Like Lane Coffin does a great job over there with a lot of kids that are playing Ironman football, playing both ways. So there's a way to do it, but you can't just take a ninth grader who's never put on helmet and the pads before and throw him out there and be like, okay, you're blocking an all-league defensive end tonight. Good luck. It's just not going to work. And, building in the trenches is hard too. Like if you don't get enough big kids and suddenly you have 5'10", 170-pound kids who look like me playing left tackle, and it just kind of snowballs quickly. Like South Eugene played a really, it's going to sound like I'm kind of boosting South Eugene. Like they played a really good first half against North Eugene last year. Like North Eugene was a very quality Midwestern League team, and South Eugene led them at halftime, and they looked like the better team for a half, and then you get two injuries, and you have to bump up a JV kid who hasn't played safety before or something like that. Or that's just an example. I'm not speaking of it specifically, but all at once you're down 58-18 because you quite literally don't have enough bodies to play a football game anymore. It's just, I think, like I've been looking at the Facebook comments on my stories I put out today, and some of them are really terrible. And there's a lot of people who I think have a misconception about how this works. It's not like all the kids were suddenly just like, oh, we quit, we don't want to play anymore.
No.
You just don't have enough kids or enough healthy players or experienced players to do it right. And, people are doing their best out there, but it becomes, like you said, a safety issue at the end of the day.
Jared, first off, congrats on the wedding. I saw you and your lovely bride out at Planktown a couple months back. That was good to see you out there, and congrats on the wedding. I was going to tell Justin to ask because I didn't want to say like, hey, congrats on the wedding, and find out that maybe something got in the way in the 3 months since I saw you. So I'm glad everything went well. Good on that. Congrats. Sheldon Thurston, that's cool. I feel like in past years, maybe Sheldon wouldn't have played Thurston because it's kind of the old not a lot to win. Hey, if you beat them, you're the 6A school, you should beat them. But we had Tyler Martell in here a couple weeks ago, and he's like, hey, why are we jumping on a bus and going to Portland and playing some team? Let's play the teams around here. I think that'll be a fun one too, because Martell seems to think his team's a little bit better. Obviously, Stark's got teams that are up there. I think that's a fascinating matchup and really cool to have two teams at different levels say, hey, we'll take it on and not worry about, any sort of bragging rights or this and that. Let's get it on week one.
Totally agree. And it's Tyler and I were talking about that long ago too, that he wishes it's something that happened more often. And I don't really blame him because it's a really cool thing for the town. And I think like you kind of said it, Steve, there have been years where, Sheldon is a 6A semifinal sort of team, and it probably wouldn't be that competitive of a matchup. But in terms of just head count and attendance and how many bodies each program has for the football team, like it's pretty similar. I don't think those two programs are that far off in terms of size. And I mean, anybody who's watched Thurston play football under Justin Stark knows they're always going to be one of the most physical teams in 5A. But I think when you bump that up against a good physical 6A team, like that's going to be a good matchup in the trenches. I think it's going to be a good matchup on the perimeter. I mean, you think of Thurston, it's like running down your throat, ground and pound, tough football. But like Thurston has a bunch of really good receiver DB kids this year. I think they have 5 or 6 of them that could be all league caliber kids if they didn't have to rotate them. So that's what I'm kind of interested in, is how does their kind of all-state quarterback Emmett DeStefano kind of dish the ball around to all of those guys. He's got a lot of really good targets. He's got a really good tight end, and Leo Fatu Felipe is going to play on Saturdays after he graduates. I think Thurston might kind of light some teams up this year. So I want to see how Sheldon deals with that, because Sheldon, on the other hand, has some really good defensive back talent. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
The backbone of the sports department at the RG, it's Jared Denny joining us on The Drive. We are statewide on the Sports Animal Audio Network, the Oregon Man Clinics hotline, locally in Eugene at 541-844-3484, toll-free 877-844-3484 from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. I want to expand out a little bit and talk a little bit more about the OSAA, because we're seeing more hybrid leagues. We're seeing that the executive council, the coaches, the ADs are getting together and trying to, mash together geographically, but then competitively conferences. And so the state is widely expansive in terms of the miles and trying to keep teams with pockets of enough players to support it, in those areas. And I talk about, teams from Eugene having to travel down to Southern Oregon, teams from Klamath Falls having to make a couple hundred, maybe 100-mile trip one way and such. I know the OSA is trying to limit that. So is there not a quick fix, but are we going to keep seeing like the shifting sands, Jared, in your opinion, on how leagues are going to be formed and how they stay together?
I really hope so. And I think like this latest realignment is a really good step in the right direction. I know it doesn't have a lot of effect on football right now. You still have the old Midwestern League, or the new old Midwestern League, where you have Thurston and Churchill driving down to face Ashland and Crater, and I just think that's ridiculous. Like, how does that make any sense for when you have so many school districts struggling with budgets to send 85 kids on 3 buses down to Central Point to play a game when you could play a team of equal or greater quality in your own region, right? It's just sort of ridiculous to me, and I have no idea how administrators and coaches deal with it. I'm sure once you try to change that, there are some unintended consequences that come into effect, and you have to deal with those. I don't proclaim to have all the answers, but I'll tell you from a selfish standpoint, I'm really excited when it comes to soccer and volleyball and basketball and baseball and every other non-football sport this year. I'm excited to have a one-city league with the new Midwestern League hybrid, where you kind of have all local teams playing each other, and you get to see, quote unquote, the best of the best in town go against each other. I think it just makes for a much more interesting sports scene, and I think it's also like kind of creates better recruiting opportunities for a lot of these kids. You know what I mean? I think it's a win all around, and I'd be curious to see how that's going to work for football in the coming years.
Well, you touched on the economics for the school districts, but also, just for the fan bases, moms and dads. I mean, there's not a lot of families that can take off, a half day of work to go travel down either direction up and down I-5 to go watch their sons or daughters play a sport, mostly for the sons when it comes to, the football aspect of it. But there's that as well, which I think factors into it. And it just makes for a better fan experience if we can keep them geographically centered. But again, the OSA is trying to do their best they can to try and make it also competitive, because you can get imbalanced pretty quickly. And you see a lot more teams that are combining. I mean, we saw just another one today with Siuslaw and Mapleton combining, because they need to have some numbers so they can compete at a 3A level. So it's going to be interesting as we move forward how that evolves. So, Jared, I know you cover it very well, and you cover it completely. And, your wife does know that you're going to be on, working the late nights now on Friday and Saturday nights, right? She does know that.
Yes. Yeah. That wasn't signed into the prenup, but we'll see if we can get some language in there.
So good luck with that on the backtrack of it. Maybe exchange it for putting like the Find Me app on your phone. Find you, not your cat. Okay.
You guys are going to get me in trouble.
No, I'm not. Well, I'm older.
We're gonna shut Danny down from this topic here pretty quick. We don't need this to be a regular on this show.
Steve's getting a little nervous. Jared, we look forward to talking to you throughout the season. Thanks for coming on today.
Likewise, I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Jared, man. Good to chat.
There he goes. The great Jared Denny. You can follow him on RG at Jared Denny on the socials. All right, when we come back, I got this topic here, the MLB Awards Watch. I have a feeling this is a Goose Baby J segment. I will be a interested observer. Week 0 of college football is here. We are excited for college football. Yeah, baby, we're excited for college football. We will break it all down for you next here on The Drive. It is the Party Power Hour, the 5 o'clock hour on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
Fresh flowers, bouquets, plants, and custom arrangements for all occasions at Eugene's Flower Home. You'll discover that and so much more. Stop by Eugene's Flower Home to find just what you're looking for. You can shop in-store or online with local and nationwide delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or other special occasions, it's available at Eugene's Flower Home, 1193 Harlow Road, Springfield, across from the south entrance to the shops at Gateway, 541-485-3655, eugenesflowerhome.com.
Looking for a dental office that truly does it all? Oakmont Family Dental, Eugene Springfield's #1 dental office, has you covered. From their #1 rated expert routine dental care to Botox and teeth whitening to Invisalign, veneers, full mouth reconstruction, a denture clinic, and even sleep dentistry. Oakmont Family Dental handles it all. No insurance? They've got you covered with their patient benefit and wellness plans. Schedule now by calling or go online to oakmontfamilydental.com. Comprehensive dental care, where you come first.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Your best coverage of the Oregon Ducks is this fall right here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. 3.5 hours before every Oregon football game, we will be live with interviews, a breakdown of the game, coverage of all the games in the Big Ten, Pac-12, and Top 25, along with ways for you, the fans, to join in. If you're in Eugene for the game, we'll be live from the Mercedes-Benz USA Eugene lot on MLK Boulevard. Stop by for some treats, games, and the best coverage of the Ducks by anyone. The Unauthorized Tailgate Show. We might not have the official stamp, but we wipe out the competition on our coverage. This fall, each week, the Unauthorized Oregon Tailgate Show, presented by Mercedes-Benz USA of Eugene, our friends at Coquel Casino and Resort, Tracktown Pizza, Mid-Valley Tractor, and the Back Nine.
I'm Ohio Sheriff Christopher J. Hilton. Criminal networks are stealing billions of dollars through social media, phone calls, and text, posing as people you trust. They pressure and demand money for personal information. Don't fall for it. If something feels wrong, slow down and verify. Hang up. Don't click. And never send money. If targeted, contact law enforcement. Protect yourself and protect your family.
Learn more at sheriffs.org/stopscams. A public service message from the National Sheriff's Association.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the sportsanimaleugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Tomorrow on the program, George Reister. Who else we got, Baby J?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We have George Reister.
Yeah.
We have a phone call, so give me a second.
Okay, well, I'll get the phone call. I love that. I'm sure it's Brad. 541-844-3484. Sorry. The Oregon Man Clinics hotline. Would you bet against me right now?
I would not.
Toll free 877-844-3484. I'm just glad the phone works. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to tell you. I'm just glad the phone works. Live from the Bigfoot Beverages studio. Thanks for tuning in wherever you're at. In Klamath Falls. Thanks, Rob. We've been going back and forth. AM 960 Sports KLAD. Hello, friends down there. The Score in Roseburg, 1490 AM, 92.3 FM Fox Sports Newport, KNCU, the A Sports Radio folks, Joe, Brett, Pepel Castro, and the entire team, 107.9, 1300 AM. And let's head on over to the Oregon Man Clinics hotline. Let's head on over to the Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-844-3484. And let's bring in our good friend. What up, Brad?
What's up, Doc?
Hey, buddy. That's all right. See, you can call me that. You're my friend. Everybody can call me that if you're my friend.
I figured it was the appropriate greeting, right?
Absolutely. You want to talk M's? You want to talk Mariners?
Well, I just something that the GM of the Hop said to Canzano that just now it's like the third time I've heard it that that the U of O is coming back to the table about potentially upgrading PK Park.
Okay.
I'm a Duck season ticket holder on a couple sports.
Okay.
Is it worth it for me to send an email to the athletic department and say, do what you can, save
Absolutely.
the M's? I mean,
yeah. Listen, absolutely, Brad. That's the way I would look at it. And this to me is not unexpected and it's not surprising. Because think about it this way. If you've got a tenant that can take you through the entire summer and is going to pay you to be there with the NIL, and you can figure out a way you're earmarking those dollars to help out your own baseball or softball programs or both or others, why wouldn't you do it?
Totally. Baseball needs the money, obviously.
Brad, I will tell you this also. I know the previous M's general manager I talked to, when all this was kind of going down at the start, he went to some of the bigger advertisers that they shared with U of O and was like, hey, would you reach out? Would you reach out? And U of O reached back to him and was like, hey, would you get these people off of us? And they were like, stop sending our people at us. So, yeah, I would say go ahead and send that over there. I think that, and just from what my guess and understanding is that when U of O reached the point this year to where 3 good players left because they didn't have the NIL money, I think when you start looking for additional revenue, I think that's where the M's come in, that, hey, they could pitch in, and if they can double or triple their NIL budget, that's where it comes from. So I think that's why we're hearing more and more about this now.
So think about how the landscape has changed seismically in the last 2.5 years even, and the dollars that it's needed. The arms race is real in college athletics. So I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. I am cautiously optimistic. I will tell you that I am actually meeting with the Emeralds management this week on an unrelated matter. And I think that the more it's talked about, maybe the more support that it comes. So absolutely, ring up your congressman. And for you, it's ring up anybody you know at the U of O and say, because you are, Brad, a local business owner. You are a season ticket holder. You are a donor. Totally. I guarantee you that Rob Mullins is the type of athletic director that listens to people like you and I. He is not one of those that's sitting in an ivory tower. Steve, you want to jump in here as well? You can. I don't think that falls on deaf ears. I think obviously his thrust is to do what's best for the university, but it's also about what's best for the city when it comes to being a partner with the city. And the M's are they're ingrained with this community. I mean, nobody wants to see the Emeralds leave.
Yeah. It's a 70-year history, and it would be tragic to see them leave the area, in my opinion. And, I mean, honestly, how could upgrading the facility hurt anything in the long run? As long as they can get over that little spillover time, and it seems like they've managed it just fine when the Ducks make a run into a regional or a super regional. It seems like the M's are flexible enough to be able to move up to Hillsboro or whatever for their home games. They've totally made it work, from my opinion. So All right, cool. Well,
Hey, Brad,
I
before you
encourage
go,
anyone else who might be in the same position as me to do the same because I don't know. It would be a shame to lose the M's. That's for sure.
Goose has got something for you, Brad. Hold
Before
on.
you go, off the record, just between you and me, when and anybody else who's listening, when Danny says he's meeting with management this week, it's because he went to the Bananas Party Animals game and he got the idea. He's trying to get the M's to change to the Eugene Sports Animals next year, and that's the big announcement that we're really hoping for.
I love it. If the money's right, I'm sure they would do it for a game or two.
Yep. We're going to be the Eugene Sports Animals next year, and they're going to maybe play the Bananas and the Party Animals.
Yeah, you get special jerseys and a jersey giveaway night. That sounds great. I'm all in.
Okay,
All right,
Brad, we
got
love
some
it. All
season
right,
tickets
thanks.
being sold right now.
And see, Brad, the phone works. So thanks for calling in. Thanks for hanging with us, bud.
Awesome.
All
Take care, guys.
There he
Thanks.
goes. Yep, Brad. Yeah, and I am meeting with the M's. I am having lunch with Godfather on Thursday on weekend eve. So
that's great because he's going to be here on the show Thursday as well.
Great. So we'll just travel back together.
I don't know
we're
when
gonna
you
have lunch
planned
late.
that, but
I did not plan that, which is fine. So maybe he'll be able to say something to us. I don't know, but I mean, it's starting to get
KL
leaked out there.
Wambacher's talking about it on this station, so I would hope that Matt
Yeah.
Dumping will talk about it on this station too.
Well, I mean, the thing is, and again, I believe me, I'm cautiously optimistic about a lot of things in life. It's being, I think there are discussions, but it's a natural discussion. I don't think anybody should be surprised that because of, and listen, the backtracking this whole thing, the Emeralds didn't want to leave. I don't think U of O wanted the Emeralds to leave. It was Major League Baseball that came in and said, you need to do certain things to meet a standard. This was imposed by somebody outside of those two organizations. Can we make that clear, first of all?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no bad guy in this whole thing. It's just you've got to meet a standard. And it's Major League Baseball's right to ask their affiliate organizations to meet those standards. So it's kind of like, you need 88 requirements for the state of Oregon or the federal government. It's all those things that happen. So let's see how it plays out. That's all I'll say. But I'm not surprised because the revenue that has to be generated, there could be a big lift. It could be a symbiotic relationship that would work in unison for the same goal. Because I don't think the M's, the M's do not want to leave Eugene. That is not their goal.
There would be no reason for them to want to.
No.
There's no, if they had wanted to, there would be a place that they were heading to. They wouldn't be sitting here spending years and years trying to find a place if they had wanted to go.
Yeah. All right. So you want to talk most valuable player? Who's the front runner in the American League? According to ESPN, it's Yordan Alvarez from the Houston Astros.
Well, he should be. He's about to win the Triple Crown.
So, Baby J, can you help me? You're the nuts guru when it comes to like all these whips and war. You are.
I know. It's
I don't.
I'm ready.
Can you explain to me? See, I'm gonna expose myself as being somebody who doesn't know everything. Which, if you listen to the show for 5 minutes, you probably already understand that. What's Axe?
Axe? I don't know.
Okay,
Axe
good.
is.
I'm glad you don't know what it is
Is
either.
this the guy that has
All right, here it is. I'm going to
Christian
explain it to you.
Sanchez
All right, so
above
Axe is
Wojnarowski?
Axe is a rating system developed to combine the results from the leading publicly available value metrics. So it includes WAR, it includes championship probability, and includes a system using standard scores and weighted to best fit the current standings. So with an index as 100 as an average, 110 is one standard deviation above 122, blah, blah, blah. 148.1 is Yordan Alvarez in the Axe. Bobby Witt Jr. is 143. Kevin McGonigal of the Tigers, 134. Do you notice how I just went right over Bobby Witt Jr.
Well,
from the
Royals
Royals?
finished the season on a 33-game winning streak. All of a sudden, he's back in the conversation.
You know who's really good in the Axe? Is this going to surprise you? Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, I saw
is
that.
a 129.5.
Having a nice season so far.
So now you have to fold Axe into your lexicon.
I just came across the stat today, so I'm not up to date on all of the different stats. I think we should name Kevin McGonigal. I think if he hasn't been nicknamed the Professor, I think we just need to go ahead and do that. It's a Harry Potter
Why?
reference for
McGonigal. Oh, yeah, I
Again,
got you
right
now.
back there, right there with that
No,
black
see, I
thing
got-
you were
so
talking
I got-
about.
I got it
Black
when you were talking about
Widow
that.
or
Yeah,
black thing,
Professor
whatever that
McGonigal.
was.
All right,
I had to throw that
you.
out there.
Okay,
Although the Professor is Kyle Hendricks. I do think that it seems like the AL MVP is just like locked up. The one that seems to me that's interesting is Cam Schlittler and Dylan Cease.
You want to say that
Cy
name
Young.
3
No,
times
no,
fast?
don't make
You
it
wanna
say
say
it
that name
again.
3
No,
times
no,
fast?
no, make him
Schlittler.
say it again. Oh, okay, fine, very good.
I got
You
it.
have
I
more
think.
confidence than me.
No, I think that's the one where it's pretty interesting because I think Schlittler, as I just continue to say his name, has the edge in a lot of the different stats. But in terms of WAR, I think they're right next to each other. It's basically similar. So people are kind of talking about them as this tight race, but Schlittler, again, just throwing the name out there over and over again, he has the stats. I think that, even as a Yankee hater, which I would call myself, I think that he probably deserves it right now.
Okay, so is the NL more interesting when it comes to
The races?
Cy Young
Mizorowski.
and
It's gotta be Mizorowski
well,
on the Cy,
actually,
right?
no. So for the Cy Young, they're saying
The Axe guy,
the
whoever the
Axe
Axe
guy,
yeah.
Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies,
He liked, Christopher Sanchez.
and then Jesus Luzardo from the Phillies as well is in third.
That's
But-
not Cy Young. There's no way that.
Okay,
Jesus
well,
Luzardo's
it's
third
okay.
in
You're
that.
when you're talking about the third, it's not gonna. It's 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Those two guys are gonna battle out for it. I think again the NL MVP is really going to be a fascinating race down the stretch. Pete Crow Armstrong, I'll get it out. Shohei Ohtani, and then the field. And you're not taking the field. You're taking
not,
one of those two. You're
not taking the field.
We were doing that before. We're taking the field. And other things, but not
Preseason,
in
you would
this.
take although actually you wouldn't because Shohei was probably the preseason favorite. So if you
Probably.
had taken the field in the preseason, you'd still be sweating it out.
No, but I don't think I don't
Well,
think anybody saw that Pete Crow
no.
Armstrong was going to do what he did this year. though.
PCA in the second half of last year was horrendous. He was like
he was
this
a head
in the first
case.
half. The first half, he was in the MVP conversation, and then he just basically fell off the map. And so coming into the season, it was like, well, are we getting first half PCA or are we getting second half PCA? And we've gotten first half PCA for the whole season so far.
But do you think in that race, and I'll just throw it out for you guys before we head to, we can extend this one a little bit. We don't want to squash the breaks together too much. And I know it's voted on before the postseason starts, but if say the Cubs absolutely implode and collapse and they lose out on the wild card and they don't make the postseason or lock up, or possibly if they challenge the Brewers and possibly stretch imagination, win the NL Central, does that improve Pete Crow's Armstrong's resume for an MVP?
Yeah,
I think it
absolutely.
does.
I mean,
Does that lock it up
team
for him?
plays in.
I think it plays a part. Yeah, I think
Because
that-
also then at that point, if the Brewers are collapsing for them to catch, then maybe the Dodgers are
right. They're
suddenly
also
5 games up, and so then Ohtani's taking.
Do
a
you
rise,
buy
too.
into the Ohtani fatigue?
No.
No,
You
I
don't
think
buy
he's
into
a
it? You don't
marvel.
buy into
No,
it?
I think he's amazing. I think that there's enough people out there, and I want to be very clear. I love Shohei Ohtani, and I also am a Cubs fan, and so that makes this a kind of a tough thing. I do think that one of the things about the award is that winning does play a part of it. I do think that would influence things if the Cubs did find a way to take over the Brewers, and maybe Ohtani has only an okay rest of the season. I do think that the award has kind of turned into the WAR award, for lack of a better term, where the guy that has the most WAR generally has won the award. So I do think it's interesting with maybe you could call it Ohtani fatigue, but Ohtani hasn't had a stellar Ohtani season, if you will. Like he's been very, very good. If you basically had this season in a vacuum and he never had pitched or anything like that ever before this, you'd be like, wow, this is amazing. But in terms of what PCA has done, he's also, this is a good comparison. I think that Shohei is kind of like the Babe Ruth of modern day. And I can't think of a better comparison for PCA than he's kind of like Willie Mays. I mean, he's one of these amazing fielder that has this power. He's not a big guy. And I think that it does make it a legitimate argument, even in the vacuum of Ohtani and what he does is a unicorn. I think that what PCA has done has been equally as amazing, if not more.
I will say the reason there's not Ohtani fatigue is that, as you might have noticed before, baseball voters in Hall of Fame and awards are pretty egotistical and into their history of things. So they would not say we're not voting for Ohtani because instead they would be more likely to be like, well, Bonds won 7 and we want to make sure that Ohtani, we're not going to slight him because history shows that, if he gets to 7, he rises this level. So I think baseball people are pretty nerdy and pretty into voting for what they think because they know the historical. There's not a, hey, we voted for him. I think that's more NBA. NBA, it's like, Giannis won it last year.
We don't want to give it to LeBron
exactly.
again.
Jokic just won it before type thing. I think that's more of that. Hey, it's Shea's time. Whereas I think baseball is more like, hey, the more times that we vote for him, this tells us how he stacks up better to these greats of the past. And so I think there's more of a war nerdy type there.
One quick point before
Yeah.
we go to break here. That's a great example of that. I think the year that we figured out, we as a collective, that there's always a debate between Jokic and Embiid. And Jokic won a couple MVPs, and then Embiid won it. But that
Because-
was actually the year that I think we learned that Jokic was
should've won
better
it because
than
they
Embiid.
gave it to Embiid because it was his time.
Exactly.
All right, when we come back, week 0 college football is here. Thank goodness for football. We'll be back to talk about that next on The Drive, the Sports Animal Audio Network.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Send off summer with fantastic lease offers and big savings at Kendall Toyota of Eugene. Lease a new 2026 Toyota Tacoma SR5 double cab rear wheel drive at just $280 per month for 36 months with $3,999 cash or trade equity due at signing. Get in on 0% APR on a new all-wheel drive 2026 Toyota BZ XLE. Plus, get $500 TFS subvention cash or lease it at just $385 per month for 36 months with $3,999 cash or trade equity due at signing. Get in on the end of summer savings and stop by Kendall Toyota of Eugene today. Kendall, let's start something great.
VIN number TM074169 and TA013908. TSRP of $42,002 and $41,970. $0 security deposit. See lease posting at Kendall Toyota of Eugene or call 541-225-5420 for complete lease details. All financing out of credit and all customers will qualify. Price does not include title registration or tax. Price includes $250 dealership admin fee. Subject to car sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 8/31/26.
You've got 60 minutes to dominate your lunch break. No timeouts. Just one shot to eat like a legend. Introducing the $11 Killer Box Lunch only at Killer Burger in Eugene. That's a pint burger, small fries, and a fountain drink, all for just $11. Killer Burger, brought to you by another Eugene legend, LaMichael James. The $11 Killer Box Lunch only at Killer Burger on Coburg Road in Eugene.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinics step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
As America celebrates 250 years of independence, it's a powerful reminder that our nation was built on service, community, and shared responsibility. For generations, the benevolent and protective Order of Elks has carried those American community values forward while investing in our youth, veterans, and neighbors in need. This is Travis Demers, voice of the Portland Trail Blazers. Join the Elks in honoring America's past. Oregon Elks, stronger together.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the OSAA and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not real. But you miss a minute of the drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
Live and in living color on the Sports Animal Audio Network. We are not just in Eugene, friends. We are down in Klamath Falls, AM 960 Sports, KLAD. 1490 AM, KSKR. 92.3 FM, KWRZ. The Score in Roseburg. Fox Sports Newport. Hello there, friends. KNCU 92.7 FM. And KDSO, it's the Ace Sports Radio. 107.9, 1300 AM. The old stomping grounds down there in the Rogue Valley in Medford. I'm Danny. There's Steve and Justin. Hello, friends. Welcome into the program. If you missed any of the show, we started out with Zach Neal. Talked a lot of Ducks and tagging like necks and phones and things.
Tracking.
And men's tracking. And yeah, I guess that's a different. Yeah, that's different. From Ducks Wire, it was a good listen, and some audio from Evan Stewart, Jamarcus Shepard. We heard some audio from him on the starting quarterback, Braden Atkinson. And we had breaking news as the Big Ten started the charge, and now the SEC. Has the Big 12 formally voted yet, Goose?
The Big 12 is voting tomorrow. It sounds like they have agreed upon the bill, but they're voting on it tomorrow. Is what it sounds like.
Resolution order barring NFL returnees to come back to college football. So that means Anthony Hankerson, no.
Nope.
That means anybody who
RJ Louise, basically LSU, half of LSU's basketball roster, no, and a couple of the football players, no.
Does it affect anybody at Oregon? Is that the
Oregon has? It would be the
basketball.
No, because he didn't come back from the pros. He's the 5-for-5 guy.
Yeah, he's the 5-for-5.
So he's still in the courts.
I can't keep all this straight. Can you keep all this straight?
No,
I can't keep all this straight.
I don't even think the NC2A can. Not that they've tried to, but I don't even think they know who's on teams.
So we've only got about 60 minutes of the show, but if you want to call in, toll free 877-844-3484, 541-844-3484. That is the Oregon Man Links hotline. The phones are open. The phones are live from the Bigfoot Beverages studio. So week 0 of college football is here. By the way, dad joke coming up the top of the hour. And I got a better one for you guys today. I know yesterday was a little flat. They're not all diamonds. So I'm looking over week 1 schedule.
Week 0.
Well, probably week 0. That's right. Well, yeah, week 0.
I've never understood why it's not just called week 1.
I don't know. It was so ESPN's got it as week 1. So, if Mama calls him Clay, I'm going to call him Clay.
ESPN, the list week 1 is August 22nd to September 7th.
It's a long week.
Combine them. And before you get into
it. All right, here we go.
Can I tell you the most important game in my household of week 1? Do you know who's playing Thursday night at 4:30 on ESPN Plus?
Is it Drake?
No.
Drake Bulldogs are hosting the South Dakota School of Mines.
Excuse me?
Yes, the South Dakota School of Mines is at Drake
in
on
basketball.
Thursday. No, this is football. Thursday night, 4:30, ESPN Plus.
School
Drake
of Mines?
football. The School
Like
of Mines.
mining?
Yes.
I don't
So
see
they're
him on
big.
the
They wear a lot of helmets
schedule.
anyway.
I don't see him on the schedule.
Well, it might
though.
not be your FCS, might not be on your schedule. You might be on an FBS schedule, but Drake is hosting the South Dakota School of Mines.
How come I have a feeling we're going to be talking a lot about the Drake Bulldogs as we head into the fall?
We got a connection now.
Yeah, that's right. We do. So there's nothing that's standing out on this schedule. I mean, New Mexico State, is that NMSU?
Yeah.
Florida State,
Stanford's
Memphis, UNLV.
Stanford's hosting Hawaii.
I see that, but
UNLV, Memphis, that's those are 2 decent group of 5s.
I'm excited for San Jose State to hold USC for about 2 quarters and then for USC to win by about 40. But for 2 quarters, we're sitting there going, what's going on with USC, guys? That's my prediction.
You got to be excited to watch Bill Belichick at 9 a.m.
Not getting up for that.
No?
No, I don't
I'll
care.
I'll watch that. You
about
really
that
college
game.
football. College football's back.
I will
I'll
watch the
Jacksonville
USC
State,
game.
North Dakota State. I'll watch Sac State, Eastern Michigan. Count me in.
I don't care about the Horned Frogs. I definitely don't care about Bill Belichick. And I don't want to see the side thing for Bill Belichick roaming the sidelines because then there's going to be
Does
cameras.
he make it through a
on her.
season?
Yes, he makes it through the
so?
season,
Through
but
the
he's
season,
done.
but then I think this
I don't
is
know.
fine.
I think he could get
No.
fired.
No.
You think it's a contract thing?
Yeah, I think they're not going to be able to buy him. But they had to what? They paid Mac Brown $8 million to go away, right?
Yeah.
Are you thinking people there in Chapel Hill are like wishing they had Mac Brown back right now? It's like
I would think they would I think they probably wish they'd had hired John Summerall.
Yeah.
That
I don't
would probably
disagree
been
with
a
that.
better
All right, so
hire.
we were talking about schedule. So you like Hawaii, Stanford? You guys
I like all of it. Sorry,
you like
I'm
the train
in for
wreck?
college football. Count me in for North Carolina, TCU. Count me in for San Jose, USC, North Carolina
I
State,
can get
Virginia.
my arms around some of these, but how interested am I going to stay in a 47-7 game
Well, that's
midway
when you flip
through?
to the next one. That's when the next game starts. Once it's
Right.
47-7 in this USC San Jose game, that's when you flip to Eastern Michigan Sac State.
Okay.
I only have 8 games to choose from, though.
I have a great way to put this.
Okay.
Would you rather watch a week 0 college football game or an NFL preseason game?
Week 0 college football.
I don't think it's
it matters.
close.
No,
I don't think it's
these
close.
count in the
I would-
standings.
I
These
would-
games count in the standings.
I would agree with that,
The
but
starting quarterback's playing more than 2 series.
I totally agree with that assessment. However, it's like you asking me the question, would you rather have food poisoning or a broken leg?
Oh, you're crazy. College football is not food poisoning or a broken leg. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not even sure.
I'm talking about this Goose. All right. So we're going to recap and we're going to see how many games were actually somewhat competitive and how long you actually sat and watched them.
I'm watching college football on Saturday. I've been waiting 6 months to do
So
this.
why aren't you watching the CFL then? If it's football,
I don't want to know anybody who's playing in the CFL. I don't know any of those people.
Tell me who's the 2 deep on Jacksonville State.
On USC. I know USC's lineup looks like. I know North Carolina's coach.
Okay.
But I know what Stanford's
So
coach.
are you going to watch Jacksonville State, North Dakota State?
Well, if the Virginia North Carolina State's a blowout and I have to turn to it for the start of it, then maybe I will. Maybe I'll go do something else. I'm just saying. I've been waiting. I mean, this is I'm count me in for this.
Goose, I just like to poke you a little bit because I am all in on college football.
Count me in for this.
This has been a long summer.
What about UNLV Memphis?
That's
what
a
we
great
just
one.
said. No,
I think that's
fine.
UNLV is a legitimate playoff contender. That is potentially
And
the
Memphis is
favorite in their,
decent.
and Memphis is one of the favorites in their conference. That could be literally a playoff elimination game. And Danny's over here worried that he doesn't know who the starting quarterback is for either team.
No, I'm not worried about it. I'm asking you because you just told me you wouldn't watch the CFL because you don't know anybody.
UNLV has Dan Mullen as their head coach. Memphis has a new head coach because their guy went to Arkansas. But UNLV's got the quarterback. They
Doesn't
just
even know
brought
who
in
the
from
head
somewhere.
coach is, by the way.
They brought in somewhere. They brought in UNLV brought in a new quarterback.
If you're going to talk about it, then talk about it. But it's a 4:00 kick, so it's fine. It works right into my grilling area, so I can grill a little dinner. I can have it on the back patio, and I can watch football. Believe me, it's actually, what's going to unfortunately happen here this weekend is I'm not going to be in town. I'm going to be up in Seattle.
Justin and I on Monday. I guarantee you, Justin, you and I have the show Monday. We're going to be leading with an upset. One of these things, something's going to happen in this thing that we're going to be leading the show with Monday. It's either USC, like you say, struggles, or North Carolina pulls one off, or the UNLV Memphis game is 7 overtimes.
I don't think this discussion is over. I think we need to bleed this into tomorrow when Goose isn't here and he can't defend himself.
There you go, and then into Monday when Danny's not here and then he can't defend himself.
See how this show operates?
We're going to spend all of Monday talking about how Danny had no idea how good that slate was.
All right. It's fine. Again, I have the power of the pen. 877-844-3484, 541-844-3484, the Oregon Man Clinics hotline. One more segment. Dad joke coming up on the drive.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since 48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
All bets are on at the Three Rivers Casino Resort Sportsbook in Florence. Bet 24/7 at our kiosks or download the brand new Sportsbook app today and get $10 in free bets. Place wagers right from your mobile device while you relax in your room, hit the casino floor, or grab a bite. Then catch the action on Oregon's largest sports betting screen. Visit threeriverscasino.com/sportsbook to learn more. The Sportsbook at Three Rivers Casino Resort. Winning starts here.
The plans you have for your property need the right equipment. Kubota has reliable tractors, utility vehicles, and mowers to help you make the most of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% financing or save up to $3,500, plus a first-year K-maintenance service on us. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Mid-Valley Tractor in Eugene. 40 years, family owned. Find them at midvalleytractor.com.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number TC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debts may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum. That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest, cleaning up the air we breathe. I didn't know the trees were so amazing. Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb. That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
George Reister on the program tomorrow. He's our highlight. 3 hours of the program starting at 3 p.m. Bald-Faced Truth Unfiltered at 2 p.m. You got us locked in here on the Sports Animal Audio Network, live from the Sports Animal Eugene Studios in beautiful Eugene, Oregon, the Emerald City. Around baseball right now, the Mets are up on the Brewers 2-1 in the top of the sixth. They just blasted a home run, not they, Luis Robert Jr. And the Royals are now on top of the Blue Jays 4-1.
9 in a row, top. 9 in a row coming, 9 in a row coming. And Philly lost last night. So you were telling me that the Royals didn't have the longest win streak in baseball, but now they do.
By the way, it's Louis Robert Jr.
It is Robert.
No, unfortunately,
he's not French.
It doesn't make any sense.
You know what? I like the way I said it.
I like it better.
I like the way I said it better. I know he's produced. That's what Luis Robert Jr. That's better, man. Have a little flair. And he's parked one against, and they got 2 on, so they've strung together 3 straight hits. World Series is still going on in Little League, and we'll be updating all the scores as they come across tomorrow, as well in the program with our sports bites here locally, and of course our affiliates down the line: Klamath Falls, Roseburg, Newport, and Medford. Thanks for all of your participation, and you as well, boys. Nice show today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks,
tomorrow on the program.
Thanks
you're not going to be around tomorrow, so again,
we can talk tomorrow. I'll be back Thursday, Friday.
Well, you're not off. You're just not going to be here.
Yeah.
Okay. There's
true.
A difference.
That's
it's
true.
not like you're taking the day off.
Family
and
matters.
Sunning yourself.
Personal reasons, family personal reasons, as they say in the world.
Golf
with his
wife.
Thank you.
So she knows where he is because he's going to be right next to her. All right. So here's our dad joke for the day. We always end with the dad joke. Justin, you'll like this. What's the worst drink for a soccer player? The worst drink for a soccer player. Hush, Mims. Worst drink for a soccer player. Penalty. See how it came full circle? Youth has got it. Put it right there.
Right there.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. All right. For the gang here, thanks for tuning in. I'm Doc. God bless you all. Put a smiley face. Someone else. They deserve. So do you. Peace.
.50 AM and 102.9 FM and the